love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Ooma.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at sacktownsports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Well, we have an awful lot to talk about, don't we, today? Coming to you, of course, from the Golden One Center, Kyle Draper, Kevin Whitey Gleason. We'll start with this, Drapes. It'll come as no surprise to you. You may already know this. You probably already do. Guess who was just named this afternoon the Western Conference Player of the Week?
My guy, De'Aaron Fox.
How about that?
Yes.
You know, Wemby, when he had his 50, he thought, oh, I got that Player of the Week award sewn up. Not so fast, mister. Wow, what an incredible weekend it was for him, for 49er fans. I'm glad to be back with you today.
Incredible weekend for 49er fans, too?
Not in a good way, but incredible, yeah. You know, another one of those, wait, how did that happen?
I'll tell you what, man. You guys, and I'm talking you and Jay, you guys are a trip. Usually during 49ers games, I'm getting texts. Oh, man, that Kittle is amazing. Oh, you can't stop Debo. Look at CMC go. Shanahan, great call. I didn't get a dang thing from you and Jay last night.
Now, why you going to come on this show and start lying from the jump?
I'm just saying, big fella.
Why you going to start lying from the jump?
Loss. No, we got to be better than this. Nothing. Jay, you ain't sent me a dang text at all yesterday, big fella.
Well, seeing as
everybody was silent.
I got some personal things going on in my life that have took me away from that. But
where were you at, Whitey?
But the second part, wait a minute, Whitey. You don't allow Drapes to come on this show and lie like that. Don't nobody have a strong text communication in no 49ers games. Let's put that on the table.
Actually, he's right.
No, usually there's one or two though, right?
Don't be bluffing the Drive Guys fans.
That's easy. We can look that up very easily, Dre.
Yeah,
he's right here.
He's bluffing.
Yeah.
Usually it's like at least one or two. I need to check and see if Jay tweeted out anything. Usually he tweets out about the medical staff.
Well, again,
something like that.
Jay does have a lot going on.
He does.
At home. I will say this about the 49ers yesterday. Yesterday, I'm sitting there watching the game, and there's a big crash. And you know what it was? It was a remote. It fell out of my hand because I don't remember the last time this happened when I was watching a 49er game. I fell asleep. They're boring. Yes. It's like, oh, my goodness. This team is boring right now.
Yeah, they are. They are. I mean, the offense is just, throw it 3 yards. They don't have any big playability.
They don't
anymore.
Did you happen to watch the Chargers and the Bengals last night?
I watched part of it.
I watched part of it. Yeah. I know, no matter what you think of those two quarterbacks, they can spin it. And, Burrow's back there, taking shots downfield. And Herbert had a bad second half, but he's taking shots downfield. It was almost like I was watching a different game than what your guy Brock Purdy's playing right now.
Oh, he's my guy now.
Yeah.
He jumped off the Brock Purdy bandwagon. He's looking like a pedestrian quarterback right now.
And they still had that game and still should have won it.
Right. That's the thing, Whitey. They still should have won it, and it's a theme all throughout this season. Blowing leads, unable to get stops when you need it, unable to run out the clock. It's been the story of their season when you look at it, whether it's against the Rams or the Cardinals or even the Cowboys game. It's like that became interesting.
Yep.
Like it's like they can't get separation anymore.
Patriots kept that game close.
Where's the blowout wins from a season ago? Where's the high-powered offense? CMC looking like he's running in wet cement out there. And don't tell me, he averaged 4 yards a carry. Well, he had 16 on the last 2 rushes, I think it was. 11 and 5 or 6, I think it was. And so he was average or below average, if you will. This team is in trouble. They're in trouble, Whitey.
They are. They're in danger of not
They're
even making the
old
playoffs.
in front of our eyes.
Yes.
Like, where's
When I
Debo
can
at?
keep them open. Yes.
Where's Debo at? Debo, I mean.
Just sweep to Debo and he loses
what's
a
he
yard.
making? 24, 26, 28 million, something like that, whatever it is. This guy is a no-show so far this season. I mean, it's pretty bad right now.
Look, it all comes down to their last possession. I mean, that says so much about where they are right now because the 49ers stopped Seattle on 3rd down and 4th.
Did they really stop them, though?
Well,
the spot could be questioned.
It could, but they stopped.
They did, but they got a little help from the officials, I thought, with the spot. But go ahead.
But they got to stop.
You're making a point. Go ahead.
They got to stop. Whether you think they should have or not, you get to stop. And at that point, all right, you know what to do. You salt the game away. So it's 3:56 left. Ball on your own 37 after 4th down stop. Maybe they did get a little help there from the officials. So either way, here you go. The game is yours. And then McCaffrey for 11 yards, like, all right, here they go. After that, 1st down, McCaffrey, sweep left. With that play is the bread and butter of the 49ers offense. And it has been getting them nothing. And it got a 1 yard loss. All right, 2nd down. And guess who airmails the throw to Debo on 2nd down? Brock Purdy airmails.
Yeah,
all right,
man.
3rd down. Then what happens on 3rd down? Feeble completion to Jennings, short of the sticks. Remember we talked about that last week because you got the hot read and teams know we blitz. They got to throw the hot read. They throw it underneath. We stop them. And then you have to punt. And that's it. That's where this offense is right now. Sweep left. That used to dominate teams, set up everything they did. Nothing. Purdy overthrows a guy. Then he throws short of the sticks. That is your high-powered 49er offense right now. That's it.
How you feeling about that, though?
It's not good. It's not good, It's very, very disappointing.
I mean, if you're a Niners fan, it is disappointing because you look at all the pieces. The thing was, CMC comes back, it's going to cure everything. Well, it hasn't. This offense is very vanilla. It's very plain. Maybe not in the play calling, but in the results. And especially without George Kittle. George Kittle's their big play guy right now.
Right. You're without him and without Bosa for much of the game. And I know they've been getting more than their share of injuries, but that's football.
It's football. Exactly. And, you want to say the offense. How about the defense? How about the defense on the final drive? Seattle got to go 80 yards to get a touchdown. Not a field goal, if you will. They need to get a touchdown.
I'm watching that game going, when did Lamar Jackson join the Seahawks? How did that? I must have missed that, right? It's whatever Gino wanted.
I think, Whitey, we can rehash the game, and we will. And people hopefully will call and try and, get to the bottom of what's wrong, 916-339-1140. But at the end of the day, 10 games in, I think we need to come to the conclusion, face reality. The Niners are an average, maybe even slightly below average football team. And here's why. Looking at the numbers. Their wins, you know what their best win is?
It was probably the win over the Jets.
No, over Seattle. First Seattle win.
Okay.
In terms of record, 5-5.
Yeah.
Their 18-33 is the combined records of their opponents that they've beaten.
You're right.
They beat tomato cans this season.
Yes.
And now you got Green Bay. Now you got Buffalo coming up.
That's a win. That's another
we just got to realize, Niners fans, Sacktown Sports 1140, Drive Guys listeners, that this team is average right now.
I say it was the Jets because, as you'll remember, after that game, even you were saying, well, yes, And I know you always point out there's been more information, so you've changed your view. But
yeah.
they look so good in that game, even without McCaffrey. But I understand. Yeah, they look really good against Seattle. Remember how well Garendo played? How did he do yesterday? Well, if he's not on the field, he can't do anything.
Exactly. And Kyle Shanahan, I thought once again had a bad afternoon. You know, we could talk about no Garendo. Where was our boy JP Mason? What do you have? A couple of carries?
Yeah, like 2 carries for 13 yards.
Like JP was running his ass off to start the season, and now the dude can't even get any snaps, really. And then how about the final drive? And I understand it's a long shot to come back, and you know when you're down by 3 like that, and you got to march the entire length. But what the heck was that first play they called? The little 3-yard pass to Debo, and he was supposed to throw it back. What was that? What was that? Tells me you have no faith that your guys can get down the field. You're calling a trick play right there instead of trying to get 20 yards, trying to get 30 yards right off the jump.
I have a theory on what the biggest problem is with the 49ers. People are not going to like it. How are teams beating the 49ers right now? How are they slowing down the offense? They're daring Brock Purdy to beat him with his arm, right?
Yes.
They're loading the box, so go ahead and run. We got 8 guys there. Good luck. Brock Purdy's going to have to beat us. He can't. Brock Purdy, I think he's got a bad arm. I don't think he has as much juice as he did before when we all said he doesn't have the greatest arm. I think that's what's going on right now.
You think?
I think he's got
an injury.
Yes. I think he's got a bad wing, and I think teams know that.
Well, you got some inside info?
I do not.
I'm just wondering.
Watching the throws that sail, the throws that nosedive, his underthrowing guys when he has them deep, and that's not really a criticism. Because if the guy's got a bad wing, what can he do? But teams are daring them to throw the ball. They're going, man, they're loading the box. What do you got? But they know he can't beat them.
No, but you know what? They don't know he can't beat them. They're not afraid of Debo. They're not afraid of Jawan Jennings. No Kittle. Teams are not afraid. You know who they're afraid of? CMC in that ground game. Load up, one-on-one, man-to-man on the outside. We don't have Niners don't have anybody that can stretch the field. Jawan Jennings played his butt off.
Yeah, he's playing great. They should be afraid.
But Jawan Jennings can't beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Jawan Jennings can't beat you. Where is Debo Samuel? He's on a milk carton at Rayleigh's right now because he's missing. That's where Debo Samuel is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could talk about the lack of a run game. We could talk about Brock Purdy. Debo is supposed to be one of your unstoppable offensive weapons, and he is not living up to his end.
If I'm Jake Moody, I'm going to Debo right now and go, hey, lock in.
Lock in.
All right?
Lock in.
Let's go. Yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of issues they have right now. Most people, though, are blaming the coach today. That's a very, very, very popular game today. Very popular parlor game is, when do you think they should get rid of Kyle Shanahan, and how much of this is his fault? Most people feel it's mostly his fault right now, rightly or wrong.
Yeah, and he is definitely without blame. I mean, he's a big part, and Jay has talked about
not without blame.
Yeah, not without blame. I mean, yeah, and Jay has talked about, you know, the play calling, which has become very predictable. I mean, he has to realize at this point, you can't just throw a 3-yard little out or whatever to Debo and expect him to make a play and get you 8, 9, 10 yards. Like, they need something going down the field.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not happening. And like I said, some of his play calling, lack of substitutions, JP Mason got to be like, damn.
I know, especially when, okay, you have the lead, 3:56 left. It's time to run the ball, and they don't even put him on the field.
Right. And you give it to CMC, and I know he's your guy, but Christian McCaffrey is not the same Christian McCaffrey
even he
from a season ago.
Even he said that.
Right, exactly. And maybe it'll take some. He says he feels like he's really close. He's really close, but I'm not seeing it. You know, usually he's able to turn the corner and get upfield quickly. Maybe the offensive line isn't doing a great job blocking. I don't know what it is, but this Niners offense, this is multiple times where I look up in the third quarter and they got 10 points. Like, what happened to the team that scores 28, 30, 34?
That zone
They just
stretch.
don't do that anymore.
That CMC left zone stretch behind Trent Williams. That was money. That was what everything was based on. And right now, that's getting them nothing.
Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. Do you have a Drapes take?
I always
come
got
back.
Drapes
Yeah.
take.
Because we haven't even talked much about De'Aaron Fox's miraculous weekend. We'll do that on Drapes Takes, I'm assuming, when we come back to the Golden One Center on Sacktown Sports.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Need a new health insurance plan? Don't feel like you have to search for one on your own. There's Health Markets. When you visit healthmarkets.com, you can speak with a licensed insurance agent in your area and get personalized recommendations. With Health Markets, you can feel confident you're choosing a health insurance plan that fits your needs and your budget. See how easy it can be to search for your next health insurance plan with healthmarkets.com. Visit healthmarkets.com today. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
We had every opportunity to run away with that and put it away. You got to finish it there at the end. And I was disappointed because I thought the offense had every chance to do that, and we didn't get it done there.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916, Sacktown Sports.
Back to the Niners in just a moment. Drapes Takes coming up, too. We're coming to you from the Golden One. There are a bunch of, looks like maybe high school age kids, and RJ thinks maybe they're honor students or something, so they get to come out here and they're shooting baskets. And right now there's a whole bunch of them around the three-point line. And I happen to mention to Draper, there's a young lady, blonde lady on the other side, maybe high school, I don't know, she's maybe junior high school. And she made a shot, and I said, Drapes, watch this girl shoot. She is money, Drapes.
Yeah. She's
from
only
the
missed
corner.
one. I've watched her shoot about 4, and I think she's 3 or 4. And she took one from out of bounds too, on the sideline
Splash
in the corner. I'm waiting for her to get another crack at it. Oh, there it is. Give it to her. All right, here we go. Young blonde lady squares up. The heave. Oh, she missed that time.
That's a long shot.
Yeah, that's
money.
long though. That's long.
Yeah. So hopefully the Kinks will make some of those tonight. But we'll get to all that, and we'll get to Drapes Takes right now. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. 49er fans have some things they want to say. Let's start with David on Sacktown Sports. What's on your mind today, David?
Hey, thanks, guys. I hate to say it, but this team really needs a Dan Campbell style of coaching at the moment. You can see on the field that there's just a lack of fire, and they're expecting the things to go the way they have been, which is kind of easy for them. It just comes easy. But now they have to put their nose to the grindstone, and things ain't no easy no more, and they can't figure it out.
All right. Thank you. So, David, saying the 49ers need somebody who can
light a fire,
be a little more fiery.
Yes.
So cool, cold, analytical, and efficient.
I don't know.
A robot.
I will say this, and Kyle's a good coach, but he at times looked lost out there. It's at times he doesn't know which buttons to push to get this team going, whatever it may be. And, and I'm just talking this season.
Don't you think that's accurate? Don't you think
Right.
that he probably is right now? He's at a loss.
At a loss, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's crazy that they find themselves in these predicaments time in and time out, game after game, close games against what should be inferior competition, and you find a way to lose. We could talk about the players all we want. We could talk about Brock Purdy. We could talk about Debo. But this is a symptom of Kyle Shanahan here as of late. Even last season, Whitey, in the one-score games, we saw the stat. What was their record? 2-4 last year in one-score games? This year, 1-3. And they aren't winning close games.
No.
They're finding ways to lose games right now.
Yeah, they're losing games that I think it's fair to say they're games that they should be winning fairly easily. Like I said, even the Dallas game, they let them back in.
Yeah.
So they got a lot going on right now. A lot of problems. How about Dave on Sacktown Sports? Hey, Dave, what do you make of this?
Hey, thanks for having me. Football, man, it's a game of inches. It's a game of feet. Getting separation is not the same in college. And where the Niners went wrong, I was shocked, was a few years back when they traded away their future for Trey Lance. Like, those are 3 first-round picks. You have no reinforcements coming in. So all these guys are getting older, and you look around the league, you see all these first-round, second-round guys making impacts around the league, and the Niners don't have any of that. So there's no reinforcements, and they're just getting older. That's just – they leverage.
Thank you, Dave. Yeah.
That was it.
Yes. I think that's a great point. Thanks. We're going to, if we have time today, going to put together a list of Kyle Shanahan's biggest mistakes because people
that got to be up there, right?
That might be.
Might be up
And they had a good draft last year. Let's face it, they had a really good draft, but they could use some of those players that they gave away in order to get Trey Lance. And they ended up with a quarterback anyway. Yeah, but they gave up some quality draft picks.
They did. They really did. It's not like they gave up 6th rounders or 7th round. They gave up high level, 2nd, 3rd round picks. And it is coming to back to roost. Their skill positions got old overnight outside of Juwan Jennings. Kittle's playing out of his mind, but obviously he didn't play. But Debo looks old. I'm looking at CMC, and maybe it's the injury, but what is he, a 29-year-old running back? A
lot of miles.
Not everybody's Derrick Henry. Yeah. Not everybody can do what Derrick Henry's doing, and so they look old right now, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. I think when we get to that list, I think, Jay, we're going to have to give Jay center stage because I have a feeling he's going to have a few contributions.
Right. He got a long list, a scroll, if you will. He's going to roll out the scroll of Shanahan mistakes.
We can start now and then at about 5:30.
I know our boy TC will be calling today.
As he should. Yes, as soon as he does, I'm stopping the whole show.
All right.
We will get to all of that, but right now, from the Golden One, it's time for Drape's Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
All right, Kings fans, we got to start with what happened over the weekend. I'm talking Friday and Saturday, back-to-back. The best 2-game stretch we have ever seen from a Sacramento Kings player. The best 2-game stretch we've ever seen from an NBA player since Kobe Bryant. The best 2-game stretch since Wilt Chamberlain was hitting the hardwood. I'm talking about 109 points through 2 games for my boy De'Aaron Fox. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, Whitey, because that's been the topic of the day. Usually Drape's Takes is about the things that people really aren't thinking of. I'll get to that in a moment. But I got to give my boy De'Aaron Fox some love because he put the team on the back. And sure, we lost Friday against Minnesota. Should have won. Give Ant Edwards credit. He really stepped up. But De'Aaron Fox, in terms of the way he moved and the way he played, and I'm not talking to 60, I'm not talking to 49. It was probably the most, how should I put this, effortless 109 points he's ever scored in his life. When you talk about a player in the zone where everybody is moving fast, he seems to be moving in slow motion, the game slowed down for him. That's what we saw Friday and Saturday, Whitey. It was like De'Aaron Fox was in the gym by himself almost. It was like De'Aaron Fox was in the twilight zone by himself. I think Katie mentioned it, or maybe you the other day, somebody mentioned it. It was like De'Aaron Fox was floating high above everybody else and could do whatever he
Yeah,
wanted.
that's, you guys talked about that on the telecast.
Yeah. I think it was Katie that brought that up. It was, it was the most phenomenal performance, and I happened to be on the call for both games. Shout out to De'Aaron for making those calls, so enjoyable. But man, this dude right here, people could say he's trying to play for the contract, trying to play for all NBA. So what? I don't care. If we get that De'Aaron Fox, and it ain't got to be 60, it ain't got to be 49. When DeMar comes back, I still want De'Aaron Fox to be aggressive like we saw the other night.
We talked about this last week when it comes to a game slowing down for a guy, and De'Aaron gave us a great example of this weekend. When it slows down for a guy, it's because that guy or that woman, if it's a female athlete, they're the ones that dictate everything.
Right.
Everything revolves around what they're doing, and that definitely was the case with De'Aaron. So yeah, the game slowed down for him because he could go at whatever speed he wanted because he was dictating everything to the defense.
100%. So we got to give De'Aaron Fox some love. But I'm going to get to my true takes right here. I'm going to start with Friday, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be a little bit of negative, but I'm keeping it real. We saw firsthand, Whitey, and remember, I'm starting kind of on a negative note here. We saw firsthand on Friday why the double big lineup just does not work for the Sacramento Kings. Mike Brown gave my guy Alex Len a chance in the starting lineup, and it didn't work.
We didn't see that coming, did we? Friday, we went over some lines.
Right, we were like Trey
that.
Lyles, maybe getting a start. But that double big lineup doesn't work because you need to pair a shooting big man with Domantas Sabonis. Alex Len right now, hard-nosed defender, tough rebounder, solid passer. But he wasn't looking for a shot that much the other night. And so at times it was 4-on-5, on the offensive end. So that double big lineup, I would not be surprised, White, if we never see it again this season.
Yeah, Mike didn't take long to change his mind on that because Alex Len only played like 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. Which brings me to my next Drapes take. We've been waiting for this, Whitey. You know who I'm talking about? Orlando Robinson. O-Rob was in his bag. I loved what I saw from Orlando Robinson in his 12 minutes, Whitey. Here's what I saw. I saw a guy that wasn't timid. I saw a guy that played with energy, played with toughness. I saw a guy that can help us, and we're going to see a lot of him tonight, I think, with Domas.
He wasn't shy about letting that three fly.
Right, exactly. He looked like he belonged. And we knew on Thursday, I think it was, in the G League game, he went off with the Stockton Kings better than 20-something points. Like this dude, it might have been Friday's game. This dude needs to get some minutes, and I think this is what Monty, West, and those guys, that's why we haven't seen much movement. They knew Orlando Robinson, their hope was he would be a big part of what we do.
Yeah, that was encouraging to see. You were going nuts. Oh, Rob! Oh, Rob!
Because, dude, how many days have we talked about Orlando Robinson and what he could bring to our team? So shout out to O-Rob. I'm looking for more from him tonight. And lastly here, Whitey, it's a two-parter for the Drapes take. Two guys combined into one. Can we get off Trey Lyles back?
Mm-hmm.
Can we stop calling Trey Lyles names? Can we give Trey Lyles some love? Did you see Trey Lyles in the starting lineup on Saturday?
Maybe you heard that guy call him an embarrassment.
Right. Maybe he did, and that lit a fire. But I tell you what, Friday and Saturday, Trey played 41 minutes on Friday. Trey was knocking down threes. He was playing tough defense. He showed some physicality as well. Give Trey Lyles some love. And then I'm going to back it up with my guy, Kevin Huerter, as well. Huerter was instrumental to Saturday's win. He bounced back in a big way. Those two guys have to play huge for us, especially with DeMar and Malik out like they are again tonight.
Absolutely. And you mix in a little more Keegan and you should be in good shape.
Yes, exactly. So that's just the Drapes Takes for tonight. We're going to have another one tomorrow, of course. But Drapes Takes, Jay, it's brought to you by
Alsco Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms.
All right. Who had a worse weekend, Kyle Shanahan or Royale? We're back with that next, Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
This Saturday, November 23rd, the regional rivalry is renewed as it's the 70th annual Causeway Classic. It's the UC Davis Aggies battling the Sacramento State Hornets on Native American Heritage Day, and a salute to the senior class for Sacramento State. That's this Saturday at 2 at Hornet Stadium. Tickets on sale now at hornetsports.com. Be there for the Causeway Classic, UC Davis and Sacramento State. Stingers up.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
This holiday season, create a fun and joyful memory for you and your loved ones. Come light the world and help those in need through the Giving Machine, November 16th through January 1st at the Westfield Galleria Mall in Roseville and in Modesto at Valley Fair Mall. Choose from local charities serving your community or from global charities worldwide. Come feel the Christmas spirit at the Giving Machine. Learn more at givingmachine.greatersacramentomodesto.org.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
If you've been looking to get into a brand new Jeep, don't wait. Head to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram because all month it's Black Friday. And there's a reason people keep coming back to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram because it's the place where a handshake still means something. Off Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course, sacksuperstore.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Thank you for being with us. Thanks to Kyle Draper, who I think may be my first follower on Blue Sky, but you're already up to...
I haven't followed you yet.
Yeah, it says 0. See, that says 0. But you're up to 300 already. You've posted like 2 things, and I think you have...
Yeah.
I know. I follow you.
I'm like, where's everybody else at? 300.
But you just started.
I mean, come on.
I got none.
Have you posted that you're on there yet?
I have not.
I have not. Drapes, have you posted that you're on there?
I posted a couple
Blue Sky I saw it.
posts, but I have not gone on the other side and told people I'm over there. I have not done that yet. I'm about to do that.
Yeah. You know, some people may criticize you for that. They say, oh, like, we care that you left Twitter. Well, if you don't tell people you're over there, they can't find you. So
Exactly.
And you're not leaving, right? You're going to be on both? Or
I'm not shutting down the other one, but I will not be as active on the other one.
Gotcha.
And so, but I got a big following over there on the other platform. I got to get people over to Blue Sky, no doubt. Jay, you on Blue Sky yet?
Yeah, I'm on there, brother. We follow each other.
Follow you?
Yeah, we just literally you enticed me to come on Blue Sky when you talked about it Friday night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't said that I'm over there either, though. I'm with you.
Where can I find you, Jay?
Yeah, I'm looking for Jay.
Typical.
Right now.
Same thing.
Sure.
JRJ show. JAYRJAY show. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Let me say this about.
Oh yeah, I follow Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay from the very beginning, was on the right side of this whole Royale situation. From the
I'm not giving him that.
I can't give the credit.
That, Whitey. In what way? Nah, Jay, I ain't giving you that.
Well, that was a day when you were not with us.
I know
you had to do the charity thing. You had your parents in town.
Yep.
And we talked about Royale, and Jay was like, from the beginning, he's like, that ain't it. And then he said, we'll welcome him to town and everything. Of course, once De'Aaron Fox said, what the F is that? It was done. Right. So it didn't matter what Jay said or what I said or the listener said. At that point, done.
When the star player is like, nah, that ain't it.
Yeah, but Jay had it right from the jump. And then they had, I guess, Saturday they were supposed to introduce him, right? They just had the video that showed Slamson packing him up and sending him back to Cincinnati.
That was a pivot. That was a quick pivot. I'm bummed, though. I'm bummed.
Are you?
Yeah, because I talked to my guy, John Reinhardt, president with the Sacramento Kings.
Sure.
This is before the game on Saturday. I go up to him. JR, my guy, what's up, baby? I can't wait to see Royale. It's going to be awesome. He gives me the look. Yeah, make sure you look hard and very, very closely at him, and I'm like, he's sending me some cryptic message here. Like, I got to decode this somehow. And then they say, yeah, Royale's going to make his debut in the third quarter. I'm like, I didn't leave the desk. Like, I was stuck there ready for it to happen. And then they pulled the old 52 fake out on me. I was bummed. My daughter was here at the game. She's like, Dad, where's Royale? She wanted to see it too. She thought it was creepy, yes, but she wanted to see it. So I'm a little bummed by that.
Well.
Like, oh, you'll get over it quickly.
Had to be. I was wrong. I said, look, if they win that game, everyone will love him. But it just, he never had a chance. Never had a chance.
Dude, here's the thing, though. And I know they shipped them back to Cincinnati.
Once Mr. 109 points in 2 nights says, what the F is that? You're done.
Where's the Royale costume now, though? Like, who gets to keep that?
It's a good question.
Like, that will go down in Sacramento Kings lore, legend.
See, if they're smart, and we know they are smart, they'll do something like bring him back next Halloween or something. They'll be like, he's back.
And then Slamson just dump on him or something. Like that. Yeah. Man, I was pumped for Royale.
I feel sorry for whoever the person is in the suit that was probably thinking, for a few games, I'll get whatever they pay mascots, and that gig's done.
Right.
I feel sorry for whoever, somebody spent a lot of time on that.
Yes.
Designed it. And,
he's on the shorts and everything, right? And
somebody did a really good job creatively in coming up with some of the various features of the costume, but it's all over now.
So let me ask you this. Do you believe if De'Aaron would have been okay with it, been like, oh, that's pretty cool, we would have saw Royale?
Yes.
But once, like you said, the star player is like,
I think so.
And the thing about it, too, and you said it the other day, it wasn't just the fact that De'Aaron said that. The thing went viral.
Yeah.
It went viral
right away.
Right? Dang, man, I was excited for Royale.
Fellas, did you, Jameson, you might have a better insight to this. In talking to John Reinhardt, did you get any concept of they had like a survey, a focus group, a fan come together of sorts, great minds think alike and try to figure this out? Or do you think this was all internal?
I have not heard, about any focus. I think this was internal. I think, this was supposed to be paying homage to, the old school look, the Cincinnati Royals back in the day. And, in theory, it's a great idea. It just the mascot itself apparently
wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Just the timing didn't work out.
Because I love the uniforms. I love the court. I'm a Royale fan, so I wasn't bothered by it like everybody else. But, people higher up on the totem pole, the chain, if you will, let their voices be known.
Slamson wouldn't even shake his hand. I'm sure you saw that video.
I know, right?
He wouldn't even shake his hand.
No,
Packed him up.
He was upset, bro. when Scott Fresh said, "Yeah, introduce our new," he was upset, and so I get it, Slamson. And everybody was like, "Is he replacing Slamson? What's going on here?" And so they spun it. I thought they did a good job pivoting, though.
They definitely did.
Like with the video and everything, I thought, you know what? All right, they made it work.
Because I know Friday, and I think this was when we were playing commercials or something, I was telling you, I think even though De'Aaron said that, they could still probably spin it this way or that. And you said, no, it's done. They're done.
It's not right.
You were right. You were right.
I was like, man, I wanted to get Royale up here on the show, too,
I know.
and everything. And, man, Is that the end of Royale? Like, or like you said, is it next Halloween or something like that?
You know, you think it's the end of him, but I'm always going to be looking over my shoulder to make sure he's not there.
That's because
watching or something. Yes, yes. You never know when he's gonna pop up. So Kings got to get this win tonight, right? I know they're very short-handed, but this is one you need. They almost beat Minnesota.
Yeah, they almost beat Minnesota, and they were shorthanded in that game. No DeMar, no Malik. This Atlanta team is intriguing to me, though. Sure, they're coming off the second night of a back-to-back. Bad loss last night against Portland for them. But they got some pieces, Whitey. You know, we know about Trae Young. Dyson Daniels is playing out of his freaking
Bogey's
mind.
back tonight, too.
Bogey's back as well. You know, he is out there.
Buffkin is back tonight.
Yeah, they got a nice little team that they've put together. Jalen Johnson, got to keep an eye. And then their bigs seem to always give us a little bit of trouble, too. Talking about Capella and, your boy, Okongwu. Yeah. So this is going to be a challenge. And the fact that they have guys that can get hot from behind three. Bogey being back. Trae Young might go off for 40+ tonight. So you got to strap it on.
Garrison Matthews.
Oh, remember that? Yeah, Garrison Matthews. He was killing us from three. But, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. But this is one they have to win. Because then you got Clippers coming up.
But you got a week off, too.
And then you get some time off.
Yeah.
Exactly, to get healthy. Like, get this one. Go to 9-6. 9-6 sounds a whole lot better than 8-7, Whitey. And so I think this is a big game.
Yeah, when we come back, the 49ers are the one thing we thought they would never be. That's next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Top 100 PGA and LPGA teaching professional Kelly Stenzel offers a few tweaks for your short game, including putt whenever you can, chip when you can't putt, and pitch only when you have to. For small distance, small setup. Shorter shots require smaller swings. Grip the handle lower for less power, and a narrow stance will limit your backswing. For large distance, large setup. The farther you want to hit the wedge, the larger the swing needs to be. Full length on the grip and a wider stance create more power. And posture is key for contact and loft. See that your short game posture reflects that of your full swing. Ball position tips. Left for loft. For right-handed golfers, move the ball forward and increase loft. Right for roll. Moving the ball back decreases the loft for more roll. Sharpen your short game and watch your scores drop and your enjoyment rise. If that's your Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hi, everybody. Jay Leno here. You know, I love doing live stand-up comedy. No politics, no lectures. I'm not giving you my opinion on every issue of the day. Just nothing but jokes. So come by, check it out, and we'll have a lot of fun. Oh, it's clean, too.
Jay Leno live on stage with special guest Arsenio Hall. Saturday, March 29th, on stage at Hard Rock Live, Sacramento. Tickets are on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Come on by. Check out the show.
The Beach Boys, Endless Summer Gold. This Sunday night at Hard Rock Live, Sacramento. The music, the memories, the Beach Boys. Riding an endless summer wave into 2024. Buy your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss the Beach Boys, Endless Summer Gold, live.
Mita Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on every new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock after rebates. All of them.
Black Friday savings now at MetaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 12/1/24.
Black Friday is on its way at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, and there's no better place to shop for all your power tools. Low price Makita Bear tools starting at $89, Makita batteries starting at just $49, and many more of the year's hottest deals. November 25th through December 2nd. That's right, one whole week of crazy deals on power tools. So don't forget, our Black Friday sale will be November 25th through December 2nd. Check us out at 6701 Power Inn Road or online at fastenersinc.net.
Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Yeah, that's great. Jay Leno's going to be in Sacramento. That's terrific. That clean, too. Yeah, we're back at the Golden One Center. I feel like I'm being pulled in two directions today, Drapes, because we got two big stories, obviously. De'Aaron Fox, the De'Aaron Fox story is so uplifting and amazing and inspirational. And the other story, of course, is what's going on with the 49ers. And that story is so demoralizing and frustrating, you know? It's tough to know which way do we go now, but obviously we have to deal with both of them today.
Yeah, two major stories. And, you know, what's interesting about the King story is that, you know, I feel good, but it was a tough loss Friday.
Yeah.
Like, and then the news of Domas with his lower back. And so I should be, you know, a little upset, disappointed, down, whatever, but I feel really good about where the team is right now. Like, that win on Saturday was massive. If we would have lost that, that would have really hurt. The fact that we won that, you got Atlanta tonight. I look at the Western Conference. I think you're only a game and a half or maybe even 2 games out of the 3 spot. And so despite all the injuries and the inconsistent play, we're right there. We're good to go right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and De'Aaron Fox today, not only was he named the Western Conference Player of the Week, but he was on NBA Today.
How about that?
Yeah.
You know,
Jay is always championing the national push for Kings players.
Yes.
Wants to make sure they get their due, and De'Aaron Fox finally getting some of that today.
Yeah, exactly. Jay hit us up and was like, do we think De'Aaron Fox is getting the recognition he deserved? And you know, 10 minutes later, it was announced he was going to be on NBA Today. I will say this. I do think De'Aaron Fox is getting the recognition he deserves. I turn on SportsCenter Friday night. I think Fox and the Kings were the second story, NBA story behind, I think, the Cavs winning 13, 14, or whatever it may be in a row. We were right there. And so I do think Mark Jones, you know, he was on Sirius XM NBA radio as a guest to talk about it, you know, today. And so I do think nationally people are taking notice what De'Aaron Fox is doing.
Did you call Sirius XM and say, hey, if you want the guy who actually did the games?
Come on. You know,
I'm kidding.
No, I thought that, though. Trust me, I thought that. I'm like, dude wasn't even around. Your boy was calling the game. Like, I should have texted somebody over there like, damn, bro, I was front and center. I thought it, but I didn't do it. I did not. But yes, I did think that.
Well, a 60 piece followed by 49, which could have easily been 50, as we know.
Yeah.
You just can't ignore that. So, you know, as much as we know or think at least that a lot of members of the national media would love to dismiss the Kings, you cannot dismiss that.
No, you can't. I mean, I don't care if you in Sacramento, Boston, wherever. 60 is 60.
Yeah, there's no but.
Yeah,
nope.
And it was against Ant Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Last year's #1 defense. And you forced overtime. You got him over. The only thing that would have made it better is a win. No doubt about it. And so I thought, you know, De'Aaron Fox, when you look at it right now, these 2 games definitely boosted him up. But he might be the best point guard in terms of the way he's playing in the league this season so far.
Another thing, comparing the 49ers and the Kings. Right now, the Kings, and I know they're shorthanded. We don't know how this is going to go. But the way De'Aaron Fox is playing, they're like must see, right? They're very exciting. Everyone in the league wants to see them. What's going on with De'Aaron Fox? The 49ers, as I mentioned earlier, right now, they're kind of a hard watch. And that's the last thing this team's ever supposed to be.
Yeah, it is, man. And so, you got so many weapons, supposedly. You got this offensive guru of a play caller, and yet the offense is boring. Think about that. And the question is, who's to blame? And we'll talk about Shanahan at length coming up in just a little bit, but we also have to put blame on him, not just for being the play caller, but he has say in personnel also.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? So
most of the say,
right?
Yeah,
he's shopping for the groceries too. We just because he's the chef and the meal turns out gross because he used some old onions and the celery was a little wilted and things like that. Well, damn, Shanahan, you're the one that bought the old onions and celery, and so he takes some of the blame for that as well.
How much of it is just this team is getting old? Too many of the key players are getting old at the same time.
I'm 100% on board with that. I mean, even a guy like Trent Williams isn't playing at his elite level. And he's getting up there long in the tooth.
Yes.
And I understand why the Niners may have had some hesitation to rip up his contract and give him an extension. I get that. Deebo Samuel, I keep harping on him, but this isn't just a one-game thing with Deebo. I'm going to pull up some of his numbers right here, Whitey. Like, he's not breaking tackles like he used to, a couple years ago. No explosiveness, right?
You get him the ball and nothing happens.
Exactly. And I'm looking at some of his game logs right here. He had the nice game against Minnesota September 15th. Had a solid game first time out against Seattle. But other than that, I mean, I'm looking at yards per reception, 5.5 yesterday. Like, when guys are down, when Kittle's down, what's the mantra? We see it out here with Sacramento. Who's going to step up? Next man up. Well, Deebo was nowhere to be found yesterday. And so I don't know what their answer is. And I feel like we were able to use CMC being out. Well, wait till they get CMC. Well, CMC's back. And I know Kittle didn't play. I know some of the guys are banged up. But I go back to what I said, week 3, week 4, week 5. This team right now just seems to be snake bit. They seem to can't get whole at once. Special teams is an issue every single week. It just seems like almost like Philly last year. You make the Super Bowl and then you come back and you just can't regain that magic you had the year before.
Yeah, special teams was a problem. It was overshadowed by how bad the offense was, but it was a problem yesterday.
Yeah.
You had JP Mason when he fumbled a kickoff out of bounds. Didn't hurt him, but that was And then the punt after, they weren't able to convert. They got to stop on 4th down, and then they had to pick up for 11 yards, then a 3-and-out, and then the punt, the backup punter punts it into the end zone. You needed those, that was a net of like 17 yards or something.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna, that's I get it.
Special teams play that hurt them.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
But you bring it out to the 20, you still got to stop the guys. That's still 80 yards they had to go. And if I'm correct, did it go all the way in or did it bounce and then go? I can't remember.
I don't know. I just know it was
I can't remember if it hit the 1. I felt like it was very close and then went in. I might be mistaken. But yeah, they can't get out of their own way. And we haven't even brought up the penalties yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? The holding penalties,
That's one thing Shanahan talked about.
Stalled drives,
Yeah.
pushed them back even farther, those kind of things. The Niners give other teams credit, Whitey, but the Niners are finding ways to lose right now. They are their own worst enemies right now. Brock Purdy sailing the ball, the turnovers, the play calling, the penalties. Like, Seattle didn't play, especially offensively, a great game. Bosa goes down, and then Geno got it going. And here's the thing that we also got to talk about here. There's only so much you can ask of the defense, meaning, for the most part, they kept Seattle in check. They did enough where the offense should have put some separation. But time and time again, they're asking the defense to bail them out.
Mm-hmm.
And time again this season, the defense, when it needs the one stop,
fade late.
They fade late in the game because they've been doing a good job all throughout 2-3 quarters. But when it comes time to that final drive to make a play, they just can't do it.
All that said, and I know you shared this, Bonte, our guy Bonte, he posted this. He's, I love the way he says it. Bonte. The 49ers should consider the following, he says: shutting CMC and Greenlaw down for the season, play Cowan, Garendo, and Pearsall as much as possible, put more on Purdy's plate. Why not? Got to figure out his true worth. Disagree.
It ain't over yet, though, right?
Bonte's my guy, but I disagree. Yeah, and it's not baseball. You don't like, well, we'll start to gear up, see what our young prospects can do for next year. Football, you only get the 17 games, and you're 5-5. This is no time. As dreary as the team is playing right now, as bad as it looks, the last thing you do now is go, well, I guess we'll just, start thinking about next year.
Yeah.
You just can't do that in the NFL, especially when you have a team that is built to win. They're not winning, but they're built to win now.
Right. Now, this is now. Like, they're not built for the future. Oh, we'll get them again next year. No, now is your time. And it'd be different if they were 4 games back of the division or something. But they're right there.
Yeah.
They're right there. What's Arizona, 6-4. I think the problem is Arizona has a really easy schedule. And as of now, they have the tiebreaker against you as well. So really,
you're all true.
2 games behind. I can't see a wild card coming from this division. So the Niners are going to have to go out there and to win the division. Now, if this was December 18th and, they're 2 or 3 games by, okay, but it's still too much football left.
And I know it's an uphill climb. I'm not saying anymore that, they got it, they'll turn it around. But the last thing you do now is go, oh, well, let's start thinking about next year. It just doesn't make sense.
You got too many stars on this team, too many high-priced guys. This is your year, supposedly. I will say this. I was listening to some of the guys down there in the Bay Area earlier today, and they're losing their minds down there.
Are they?
They're losing should Shanahan be fired, and how much blame does he take? And
we'll get to all that.
Yeah, we'll get to all that. But they are losing it. It was awesome, man. My guy Guru down there, I love Guru, man. He's phenomenal. Just listening.
He's a Sacramento guy.
Oh, yeah, he is a Sacramento guy. Yeah, he's doing a phenomenal job. But, they're losing their mind down there in the Bay Area right now.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, should the Kings be more Fox-centric all the time?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's what we're coming back with here from the Goal One. And we'll get into Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers as well. Coming up here on Sacktown Sports.
Stop your grinding with Bucks Night Guard. Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91. Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
When it's all on the line, you need a big-time closer. That's especially true when it comes to your garage door. That's why I proudly recommend National Garage Door. Whitey Gleason here for National Garage Door. And whether you're looking to repair an existing door or get a brand new one installed, you need National Garage Door. Family-owned and operated. They've been around since 1974 because service is their number one priority. National Garage Door are the region's BSE broken spring experts, and the styles, prices, and quality of the new doors will amaze you. I know they amazed me. Our garage door was starting to sound kind of like a box of scrap metal tumbling down the stairs. So Kevin from National Garage Door came out. He said patching up the old one was an option, but we're going with a new garage door, and we're as excited about that as you can be about a new garage door. National Garage Door sells quality Rainer-branded garage doors. They offer sales, service, and installation on all residential and commercial doors and operators. If you have garage door needs, old ones coming apart, or you're looking to improve your curb appeal, let National Garage Door come through for you in the clutch and be your closer. 338-4554 National Garage Door.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
We all knew that with DeMar DeRozan sideline, with Malik Monk sideline, that De'Aaron Fox was going to have to do even more than he normally does for the Kings to have a chance to win over the weekend.
But I don't think we had any idea how much he was going to do, Trace. Yeah. With 109 points over the two games, nearly dragged the Kings to an overtime win over Minnesota, did carry the Kings to win over the Utah Jazz. We'll see if he can keep it going tonight, but an incredible display by De'Aaron Fox, who just took over the game, took over the offense.
Yeah, he it looked like old Fox from a couple years ago, during that impressive run. But the thing about it too, Whitey, is during his clutch player of the year run, we saw that De'Aaron Fox, but it was in the fourth quarter.
Yes, this was full-time fourth quarter De'Aaron Fox.
Right, exactly. But this time we needed it all 48 minutes from him. And so he was impressive, man. He has mastered his game right now, and it's been great to see out there.
Yeah, so only 3 players in history have scored 109 or more over 2 consecutive days. Not just consecutive games, but consecutive days. Wilt did it, I think he did it 15 times.
Or something like that, yeah.
Kobe did it in 2007. At first, I thought Kobe, that would have included the 81-point game, but that's not.
That's what I thought, too. Yeah,
that's not. That's not when he did it. And then De'Aaron Fox. So, Drapes, should the Kings be more Fox-centric all the time?
No. Because what we saw, Whitey, over the last couple of games is De'Aaron Fox take over the offense. The ball's in his hands a lot more. I don't know if you could do that with DeMar and Sabonis out there. And let's think of it this way. That's too much of a load to carry for a full 82. Now, do we need aggressive De'Aaron Fox? Yes. But I don't need De'Aaron Fox to go out there and try to score 40 every single night, because then we become the James Harden Houston Rockets. I don't want that. I don't want him that ball dominant. You got another 24, 25 point per game scorer in DeMar DeRozan. You got Domantas Sabonis, who you can run the offense to. But I will say, I said it during the offseason. You remember, Whitey? I would like to see the ball in Fox's hands a little bit more. And so I want to look at when Domas comes back, when DeMar comes back, how Mike Brown staggers the rotation so that Fox is out there minus, let's say, a Domas, so he can cook, have the ball in his hands anymore. Give him that 3 to 4 minutes, whatever it may be, where he puts the team on his back and we run the offense through him and not always through Domas.
I've thought over the last couple of years, other than those great fourth quarters that he had in the Light the Beam year, I thought that the Kings are probably tougher to guard when the shot selection and the offense is more democratic. Yeah. But the way he dominated this weekend, I realize if you have that at your disposal, it would be foolish not to try to make that key component of your offense more often. I didn't know he was capable of doing that 2 games in a row. So it's clear, like, That's not a problem for him. He's one of those guys who can do that on a night in, night out basis. I think the Kings may have to rethink how much they're going to emphasize him. Yes. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Because it's only a 2-game sample. It's only a 2-game sample. I don't know of any player that can keep this up and at this high level.
Sure. I'm not saying we need 60 from him every night, but I think a more ball dominant De'Aaron Fox might be
Trae Young, then, in my opinion.
Well,
he becomes Luka, in my opinion, in terms of we've been criticizing those guys that's not winning basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are we saying what we've seen from De'Aaron is winning basketball for the Sacramento Kings? I think when you have DeMar DeRozan, like, what do we do with DeMar then? He just standing out on the corner? I just don't see, like I said, maybe you stagger it a little bit. So you give, like I said, same thing with DeMar. So you give those guys their time to, lack of a better phrase, get in their bag and do their one-on-one and, put the team on their back. But that's a lot to ask for, though, Whitey.
Yeah, it is. I know. And I'm with you. And I've, for years, been very much a traditionalist on that. Like you say, it's like, one ball dominant guy, that doesn't work. But when you have a player who could do what De'Aaron Fox did this weekend, if you don't acknowledge that and say, maybe we need to rethink our priorities a little bit, I think it'd be foolish because he was that good. He wasn't a guy who was out there like, well, he's out. He wore out quickly because they were just asking him to do too much. He continued to dominate from the first quarter of the Minnesota game all the way through the fourth quarter of the Utah game. It was staggering.
But that's not a winning formula.
But they almost won both games.
That's regular season, Whitey. I'm trying to win championships here. The reason why the Boston Celtics won the title is because Jason Tatum and the team realized, you know what? Going out and getting 35-40 and Chuck taking the most shots ain't the way to do. I got to let other guys. I got to let Jaylen Brown succeed also. I got to let, Drew Holiday and Derek White. Like, I pointed that out last year with Tatum. Tatum could go out there and score 35 any given night he wants. And he's sort of doing that this year as a sort of a revenge tour. But to win, it's got to be more than one guy. You know what it's looking like to a lesser extent? LeBron, when he faced the Warriors without Kyrie and Kevin Love, putting up a whole lot of points and numbers, but is that championship winning basketball? I do think De'Aaron should not defer to DeMar and DeMontis. I do think
I'm with you.
He should still be super aggressive, ball in his hands a lot. But what we've seen the last 2 days was almost out of necessity, especially Saturday, because you didn't have nobody else to create.
Right.
Like DeMar is an equally as good offensive player. If De'Aaron goes out, DeMar can get you 40 easily. And so I just think it's too small of a vacuum. And they were 1-1, Whitey. Like, they did this. The fact remains they did not win Friday. Ultimately, the team game beat the individual player. And so you still need help from other guys.
Yeah. All I'm saying is I think they may want to change their emphasis a little bit. I'm not saying everybody else get out of the way and give the ball to De'Aaron, but there are more circumstances, even with DeMar on the floor, where I think you need to think about that because he was that good. It's like, again, going back to when he was the clutch player of the year, when he would take over games. And Domas would say, yeah, fourth quarter, I just get out of his way. I mean, he's doing that the last two games better than he did in the fourth quarter of games 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's remarkable.
It is remarkable, but it's a 2-game size. The dude is in the zone right now. He is in the zone like we haven't seen before, outside of Kobe and Wilt Chamberlain. And, we'll see how Atlanta defends him tonight, because it is easier, I should say, to take away a ball dominant player. You know what I mean? Like, I would imagine, without Domas, and I haven't checked the latest one, he was doubtful. No DeMar, no Malik. Atlanta's going to throw everything and the kitchen sink at De'Aaron tonight. And so other guys are going to still have to make some plays.
Yeah, the big thing that really stood out, especially in the 60-point game, was how well he shot the 3-ball, right? Because, again, he's the guy of all the guys that are struggling on the Kings to consistently make the 3-point shot. He's the one that you could understand because he's got the tendon injury.
Yeah.
But he made 6 out of 10. I mean, and then he made 10 out of 11 free throws. So
is that no longer an excuse? Would you say, like, from
I don't know. It was just remarkable.
I'm just, as
3 of 4 against Utah. He's 3 of 4.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if he has an off night, if we can use that as an excuse. It's just going to be an off night. I can't say, well, he's dealing with the finger. Well, he just had 60 and 49 with the same finger.
Right.
It shows he's capable of doing that. And no, you're right. I just look at his confidence, man. I just see and it happens because he didn't start out the Minnesota game like that, Whitey. He didn't start out the Minnesota game like he did the Utah game. It was almost out of necessity, if you will, in the second half, especially. I got the numbers right here. De'Aaron Fox in the first half had 21. Think about that, Whitey. He had 39 in second half in overtime. I think he realized, oh, snap. I got to go out there and ball. Oh, snap. I can do this. Oh, snap. They have no answer for me. No, they throw McDaniels on me. It didn't matter. They throw Nikhil Walker, Alexander Walker. It doesn't matter. And so I think it sort of evolved into that. I expect sort of a similar De'Aaron tonight because we're without so many guys out there. And we'll see how, if he can pull it off again.
One of the things that was most impressive to me about his incredible weekend was the way you could see he has processed everything he's learned in the NBA to this point. And he basically, to me, he went about it in the 2 games 2 different ways. He had 60 and he had 49. But to me, the way he attacked Utah, where he got to the line 19 times, that shows to me that's a guy who has learned the game so well. It's like, all right, maybe don't have quite as much explosiveness as I did the night before, but I still got some tricks up my sleeve.
Yeah.
That was what was impressive to me.
Right. He got to the line. He got to the basket. He got into the paint a lot, too.
Yeah.
He got to the elbow jumper a lot. And Folsom Mike is on the text line. He says, we got to talk about how Fox did it. Over 100 points on 14 3-point attempts? That's the way he should be getting buckets. In weeks prior, it was 24 points on 14 threes. But it seems like he's making a concerted effort to get to the paint, to your point, get to the free throw line and not just settle for the 3-ball.
Yeah. He actually, we have some numbers we'll go over later. He's actually, I don't know if it's DeMar DeRozan's influence or what. He's getting to the paint, but not getting to the rim quite as much as he used to. But that 3-footer to 10-footer, dominant this year.
Exactly. He's pulling up just
unguardable,
little floater because he can get by the first line of defense. Now, and Mike Brown's talked about this over the years, the over penetration. He's not doing that anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? We saw it a little bit in that Minnesota game. I think Rudy Gobert swallowed him up. I think it was the first half. But, he's hitting that 7-footer, that little, at the circle in the paint there, just that little floater, like you were saying. And it's beautiful to watch. I mean, and this Atlanta team could score too. So it might take 40 plus again tonight.
Yeah. Have you noticed sometimes with that floater, it's almost like a knuckleball? There's like no rotation.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
it's like
just let it,
push.
yeah,
it goes
yeah.
in. I'm not criticizing, but normally you see guys and they shoot it, and he shoots almost a little knuckleball, no spin, but
it's not like a flick. It's more of a little push.
Yeah,
I think
it's a put, not a.
I gotta check that out tonight when I watch.
We're looking for light at the end of the Kings injury tunnel. Is there any? We'll let you know next on Sacktown Sports.
Join Sacramento State football this Saturday at 2 for the Causeway Classic versus UC Davis. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Check, check, and check. That's the sound of me getting a jump start on my holiday list. But I can't take all the credit. Kohl's makes it too easy. I got my daughter a mini instant camera, my husband his favorite cologne, my sister Kookaburra by UGG slippers, and that's just the beginning. Then I got 20% off some of my other gifts. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offer valid to November 23rd. Coupons do not apply to Tech, Sephora at Kohl's, and Kookaburra by UGG. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
DC here Black Friday savings on now where they make car shopping 2025.
This Saturday, November 23rd, the regional rivalry is renewed as it's the 70th annual Causeway Classic. It's the UC Davis Aggies battling the Sacramento State Hornets on Native American Heritage Day, and a salute to the senior class for Sacramento State. That's this Saturday at 2 at Hornet Stadium. Tickets on sale now at hornetsports.com. Be there for the Causeway Classic, UC Davis and
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Bottom of the hour, Steve Hullman's going to join us. He's the longtime play-by-play voice of the Atlanta Hawks. Do you know how many games he's done in a row, Drapes? How many Atlanta Hawks games?
Oh, how many?
I believe he's over 3,000 now in a row.
Really?
I think so.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One of the nicest guys, too.
Yeah?
Steve's a great guy. Yeah, I can't wait. He in person or is he
Jay, do we know if Steve Hullman's going to join us up here?
Nah, he's on the phone.
Talk to him on the phone.
On the phone? Okay. All right.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll see him when he comes over. That's
Yeah,
my
he said he
guy.
won't be to the arena till a little after 5, so that doesn't fit the drive guy's time schedule.
Right.
Nice of him to make time for
Need
us.
to get my boy Dominique.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I stopped asking now when we play.
Nah, if I see Dominique, I will. You know what? I will go downstairs. If Dominique walks in while we are on the air, I will put down the headphones, walk down the steps, get Dominique. Hey, RJ, we got a headset available down there? You all lined up and ready? If I get Dominique to throw on the headset, we can make it work. I'm just making sure. I don't want to walk down the steps for no reason.
Kind of like we did with
Isaiah Thomas, IT. Yes,
Yes.
I will get Dominique on.
Okay.
Dominique signed a jersey for me last time in Atlanta too.
Really?
Yeah, I got to get it framed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All
my
right.
guy.
Now you know who's on the phone right now?
My other guy, TC.
TC, it's time to check it with TC. I wonder what he wants to talk about.
Right.
Today. How you doing, TC?
Mike check.
Whitey J, what's up, man? Look, y'all know I'm finna come in with the heat. First, before we get started, right? We're gonna put a bow on it. Whitey, how are you feeling, Whitey? Are you seeing what I'm talking about now, Whitey? Just yes or no, Whitey. We don't want to get into all the antics and sugarcoat or any of that. Yes or no, bro? Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I want
That's
to
it,
hear.
Whitey,
Put a bow
no,
on the
come on.
Niners. Wait, We'll talk about it after the season. Drake, y'all know how I feel, and y'all know what I said about this team, bro, and it's coming to fruition. So we'll let it unfold how it's going to unfold. We talking about the Kings. Fox needed that game, bro. He needed that 60, and he needed that 49, bro, to salute him as a true all-star. Now, it ain't going to be no more debating. Shaq, everybody trying to leave him off. How John Morant hit, that's how Fox just hit now, bro, with them points. He has arrived. We've been knew it, though. Kings fans, Drake's White, Jake, we've been knew about Fox. But the world know about it now, big dog. He needed that game, and I'm happy for Fox, bro, because now he's solidified in the league as a dude, not just is he a guy or isn't he? Now he's like, he is a guy, and he's an all-star, bro. That's all I got. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. That's all.
Nah, TC. No,
wait, whoa.
Nope. Not letting that happen, TC. I need your take on what happened, big fella. Talk to me about what happened to your team last night.
The team, listen, that was an unacceptable. Listen, that was an unacceptable loss. You scored 17 points. You getting out-coached by all these other dudes. You throwing in when you in the red zone, bro, when it's second. Listen, Trace, we can keep going on and on about Kyle. You know how I feel. It's on Kyle. I don't care about the Torreson, Fred Warner, Bosa, none of that, bro. Everybody is injured and playing how they playing. This is on Kyle Shanahan, dog. It starts with him, man. Period, point blank. That's why this team is going down fast and in a hurry. That's all I got, Drake. What else you want to know?
That's it, big fella. I just wanted you to cook.
What's the number one thing of TC? What's the number one thing you would say Kyle Shanahan's biggest mistake? The biggest mistake, in your opinion, that he's made since he's been coaching the 49ers. What would you say it is?
Not knowing how to develop. Listen, it's two. Not knowing how to pick it, not knowing how to develop a quarterback, and not investing in the most important thing other than the quarterback, the offensive line, especially when you're supposed to be a dominant team. You haven't spent a first-round pick. You've been here 8 years and ain't invested in the offensive line. You want to get a bunch of journeymen, but you want to say that you a run-first team and you want to be dominant in the trenches. Man, get out of here, bro. That's what I'm so mad about, the offensive line.
Got you. Thank you, TC.
Hold up. Didn't they draft Dominique Purdy? Like, we were hyping this guy up.
Not in the first round, though.
Second round.
And let's correct it. Let's correct third. And let's correct it. McGlinchey was picked with the 8th pick.
Mike McGlinchey.
2018, I believe.
See,
but they haven't spent a lot.
Come on.
TC's right. So thank you, TC. That opens the door for you, Jay, if you want to step in here, because I know we've been kicking that around today. It's a day when a lot of people have had it with Kyle Shanahan. So if we put together a list of the things that
we ain't got enough time, Whitey. We got the great Steve Hullman coming up in about 5 minutes. Don't short me up like a caller,
right.
Okay?
Well, we could get started. We could get the ball rolling a little bit.
No problem. Well, how about we start 2017 when Shanahan took over the team?
Well, what did he do wrong?
How about then? How about he had the number 2 pick, if you guys remember, right? And remember, he traded back at the number 2 pick to the Bears, which was a great move. Could have been a John Lynch move. He moved back, but he took Solomon Thomas with the number 3 pick. But that's not it. And remember, he took C.J. Beathard from Iowa in round 3. But let's not forget who got drafted in 2017. And reportedly, Kyle Shanahan with his ego never even recruited, looked, scouted, went down to Texas Tech, never paid attention for Patrick Mahomes in 2017. And even though it's kind of panned out to, he hasn't panned out so much for the Cleveland Browns, let's not forget with the Houston Texans and before, some of the things that he's done off the field, allegedly, and, he's come to fruition with certain people when it comes to that. Deshaun Watson. 2017, you had the number 2 pick and you chose not to even scout. You didn't even go to Lubbock. You didn't go to the panhandle of Texas to check out Patrick Mahomes, who, oh, by the way, I hate right now. But at the same time, if he would have been if he would have been in a true 49er red, not that little wheat red that the Chiefs float, we might be talking about Patrick Mahomes as a 49er, or Deshaun Watson, who, if he wasn't in Houston, may or may not have went through some of the things that he went through. And guess what, fellas? Has Kyle Shanahan beat Pat Mahomes yet? That'd be no. That's 2017.
Not yet.
We just started things. That's 2017
over there.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. How about the Trey Lance trade? To me, that really stands out because I remember at the time thinking, before we knew how it was going to go, I remember thinking, look, if this doesn't work out, then this puts a dent in Kyle Shanahan's reputation as a player evaluation guy, perhaps permanently.
Yeah.
And he missed badly on that. And the 49ers are still, even though Purdy kind of fell in their laps, they're still feeling the after effects of trading away all those draft picks to get a guy that they decided, nah, he's not it.
Yeah, and I'll throw on another thing about that. I'm and TC brought it up. He's supposed to be this quarterback guru, offensive, but he's chosen the wrong quarterbacks, to your point, over the years, time and time again, Whitey. Jimmy G, Trey Lance. Like you said, Brock has fallen in his lap. And now we're seeing, and Brock's an okay quarterback, he's fine, but maybe Brock isn't the guy. Let me ask you this.
You're the quarterback guru, the quarterback whisperer, and you don't know a good quarterback when you see him.
Right. You don't know a good quarterback when you see him. And I'm starting to question, guys. I'm starting to wonder, did Shanahan make Brock Purdy, or is Shanahan holding Brock back to an extent?
How
about that?
I'd argue that
you know
too.
what I mean?
I'd argue that too, Drake.
You could argue the other side too, right, Jay?
Yeah, listen.
Let some of the reins off this guy. And so I question him now, man.
I question. Since you guys are talking quarterback, let me give you one more, fellas. Let me give you one more.
Please.
Okay. Maybe two more. 2017 rolled into 2018. And what happened in 2018? They wind up going and traded for Jimmy G, right?
Yeah.
After that season, what did they do to Jimmy G, to his pockets? They made him the highest paid.
They filled him up.
NFL player at the time, which then led into the next year of 2020. What happened? Who won the Super Bowl in 2020, fellas? Think about it. Just think about who won the Super Bowl. Who beat Patrick Mahomes in 2020?
Tom Brady.
That'd be Tom Brady. Where did Tom Brady reportedly, allegedly want to sign? And who said that the GOAT was washed up in 2020?
Oh, man.
That would be Kyle Shanahan.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Man.
But you made Jimmy G the highest paid player in the NFL at the time.
He's got a blind spot. Quarterbacking blind spot. The quarterback guru with a blind spot.
Let me throw this out there.
You want one more, Drapes? Do you want one more?
No, hold on. I got to I'm going to throw Kyle some grace.
No. Cut his mic. Cut his mic, Whitey. Don't let him talk.
I'm just saying. There were a lot of people who at the time, before he got here to San Francisco, thought Jimmy G was going to be a good quarterback. Kyle Shanahan wasn't the only one. Like, even in New England, there was some debate. Do we let Tom Brady go early and it's Jimmy G's time?
Well, the thing you just suggested about Purdy, I don't know that I'd go there on that. But you want to talk about that with Jimmy G? I'm willing to have a long conversation.
Okay. That he made Jimmy G or held him back?
Exactly.
Held Jimmy, because you heard what Jimmy G said after the fact last year or whatever it was. I mean, there's something going on there with quarterback. So maybe he's a controlling guy. It got to be his way. But something's not quite right now.
When Jimmy G first started playing, you remember this.
He said he used to scramble and make plays.
The ball all over the place and leading these comebacks. And the next year, he had the yips in camp.
Yeah. Damn.
Chuck Knobloch.
Where you at, Jay?
Yeah, I'm just saying Chuck Knobloch,
Huh.
Yeah, I'll leave it there, man. I got plenty more for you.
All right.
I got plenty more.
Yeah, we got our boy coming up.
We'll get back to it, but we're going to catch up with the legendary play-by-play radio voice of the Hawks. Steve Hullman joins us when we come back to the Golden One. Drive, guys. Sacktown Sports.
Black Friday savings on now on the all-new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates, every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy. Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area. $8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, time, or offers. Ends 12/1/24. Source internet search 11/2/24.
Facts
facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Every club on the shelves can be tried for free on the driving range. 3 TrackMan units and a Hagen Oaks team of skilled fitting professionals provide the finest club fitting experience. Our personable Super Shop staff will show you the newest to help you look and play your best. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
Toyota's Black Friday sales event ends soon. Maximize your fuel efficiency and experience legendary Toyota dependability with the widest selection of hybrids to choose from.
Ready, set, let's go.
Shop 16 hybrid models, cars, trucks, and SUVs from the most reliable brand on the road.
Ready, set, let's go.
Clock is ticking on Toyota's Black Friday sales event. Hurry in. Don't miss out. Toyota. Let's go places.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
What would it take for a plumbing company to earn your trust? Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And let's face it, plumbing and service companies don't always have the best reputation.
So to earn your trust, the first thing they'd have to do is actually answer the phone when you call with a real live person. Then they'd have to send a plumber when you needed them, day or night, without charging extra for emergency services.
A trustworthy plumber would show up on time, wearing a clean uniform and name badge, and be able to show that they had passed a background check and drug test.
A plumber you could trust would give you a firm quote on the job before starting and clean up after they finish the job.
That's exactly the plumber you'll get when you call Bell Brothers, a plumber you can trust. Call Bell Brothers right now for all your plumbing needs. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sacktown Sports.
Look at Jay pulling out a little Nirvana.
Yeah, what you know about this? Okay.
On a Monday. Yeah, it's a Drive Guys coming to you from the Golden One, where tonight Kings take on who, Kyle Draper?
The Atlanta Hawks.
Nice enough to join us. Legendary radio play-by-play voice of the Atlanta Hawks. I believe he's done more than 3,000 consecutive Hawks broadcasts. Steve Hullman with us. Steve, do I have that right, sir? Are you over 3,000 broadcasts in a row now?
Yeah, I think tonight's 3,014, but who's counting?
Wow, Steve, you're crazy, man.
That's amazing. Congratulations. So you went over 3,000, first game of this season? Do I have that right?
Yeah, opening night was 3,000, as it turns out. I mean, it was just kind of a fluke in the schedule that, 3,000 was that. But the Hawks, they were very nice opening night, and they passed out pins, and, they had my family there and everything else. It was very nice. But Gary knows all about the 3,000 thing, too, so.
Yeah, 3,000 hit club right there. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, you guys coming in off a tough loss last night. What happened last night? I'm watching that game, and Portland made some execution down the stretch. You guys didn't. How tough of a loss was that one last night?
Well, it was too many turnovers. I mean, that was the that's what everybody was talking about on the plane here last night. Was just 27 turnovers, 32 points. That's just really unacceptable. And I think a lot of it is because they're still waiting for bodies to come back. And you guys know about the injury situation, too. It's kind of rampant all over the league. The good news is for the Hawks, I think, tonight is they do get a couple of guys back. I think Bogey's back tonight after being out for, the last, I think, 10 or 11 games. And DeAndre Hunter's back tonight. So slowly but surely they're starting to get guys back in the lineup. And Quinn Snyder hasn't really had a chance all year to look at a lineup that that he had envisioned before the season as far as rotations and that kind of thing. So, but everybody has been bitten by that bug, and the Hawks are just one of the teams that have had those problems, and it's just one of those things you have to deal with.
We're catching up with Steve Hullman. He's the Hawks play-by-play voice. And in 3,014 consecutive games, Steve, obviously you've seen some big offensive nights. What do you make of what De'Aaron Fox is doing these days with 109 points in his last 2 games?
Yeah, he's been amazing, and we know as little as see you guys in person, we do watch him on those late nights after games, and he's just become an incredible scorer, and I think we knew that all along anyway. But he always has some pretty good battles with Trey too, and I think sometimes they try to one up each other a little bit, which makes for a little entertainment. But he's been tremendous, and he's had to be with some injuries that you guys have had. So I think he's a tremendous talent, and I think we're all starting to, the NBA is starting to figure out some of these young guys now and how prolific they are as far as the offense is concerned.
Hey, Steve, you brought up Trae Young, and I'm looking forward to that point guard matchup tonight. Trae's averaging what would be his lowest point total since his rookie season, but he's averaging a career high in assists. What are you seeing from Trae? Is he making a conscious effort to get others involved, or is it just still so early? Maybe the shooting numbers aren't quite there yet.
No, I think a lot of it, Kyle, is that he's really made an effort to be the quarterback of this team, and I think after this summer when they made the trade, he now is the point guard. He's the main guy. And I think he feels that responsibility. It's his 7th year now, believe it or not. I mean, it seems like, those guys all just came in, it seemed like yesterday, but he's moving the ball. He's running the offense. He's made an effort on defense too. And the defense has picked up tremendously. Dyson Daniels, who, a lot of people didn't know about because he didn't play in New Orleans very much, but he's a kid who's only 21 years old, and he's averaging over 3.5 assists. I think he's still leading the league in steals. So I think it's become kind of catchy on this team with the defense. Everybody's kind of got a hand in there now, and they're finding that the defense is, as we always say all these years, is, defense leads to offense. And I think they're all kind of finding that out, and including Trae, who's really made a conscious effort to pick things up on the defensive end. I mean, he's not big enough to play great defense, but he tries, and Quinn Snyder has him out there doing that. And I think Trae has taken on that responsibility since DeJounte Murray left, and feels as though this is the kind of thing that now unburdens him to be the main point guard. I think last year it was a good idea to try it. It just didn't work out because you had 2 guys playing the same position basically, and a lot of nights it was like, well, you can shoot it, no, you shoot it, no, you shoot it, you take. And it doesn't that doesn't work that way. So with him being like the main guy now, and we get Kobe Buffkin. He's another name that people probably don't hear too much. I mean, I think he's back tonight at least for some minutes as the backup point guard because we've had a kid named Keaton Wallace playing. He started the other night in Boston, and he's a G League guy. I mean that's what it's come down to. So he's a great kid and he tries hard, but he's a G League guy still. So. Once you start getting pieces intact again, it makes it a little bit easier.
That's Steve Hullman. He, of course, is the legendary radio voice of the Atlanta Hawks. Steve, before the season started,
right?
A lot of us.
Legendary, that meme's
I'm
old.
right there
right?
with you. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Beats the alternative. But a lot of people like to pick their surprise team of the year before the season starts. Everybody picked Cleveland. Since everybody picked them, it's not a surprise. Steve, to be honest with you, I picked the Hawks. I think the Hawks, I love your coach. I love the way things are coming together. Am I on the right track? Have the Hawks done anything surprising so far this year? I know it's still early.
Yeah, I think the defense, like I say, has been better. I think once they get everybody back in place and healthy, they're going to be fine. The way the East is right now, too, you look up and down, and you could go from number 12 to number 5 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
If anybody puts together 3, 4, 5 wins, it's going to be a big jump, I think. And there are several teams too that have kind of struggled. I think the Knicks, maybe, I don't know about their trade. They took away some of the heart and soul of that team. think whatever you want about Julius Randle and Hartenstein and those guys, but that took away a lot, I thought, from the Knicks, and we're seeing that too. And Minnesota's suffering a little bit too because of their trade with Karl Anthony Towns. I think sometimes you don't appreciate, as the old Rolling Stones song says, you don't know what you've got till it's gone, and I think some of these teams are experiencing that right now.
Steve Hullman joining us. Steve, you talked about the defense, and we mentioned Trae Young. I'm looking at the steals and the deflections. You guys are 2 and 3 respectively in those. How much of an impact has Dyson Daniels, and then I'll throw in Jalen Johnson too, just their length? How much of a impact are they having on the opponent?
Well, I think it's been tremendous. And, Dyson, like I said, he's kind of catchy as far as the defense goes. And he's always got a hand in there. He leads the league, I believe, in steals, still, and deflections. And, he just plays hard every night. He's out there all the time. He's a tough kid, He's played on that Australian national team in the Olympics. And, he doesn't take any guff from anybody. And he'll get into a pushing and shoving thing just as quickly as anybody. So I think that adds something to our team, too, that maybe wasn't there. But Jalen's been really good. And when you start to look at across the front line, Zach Rieseshay, who's just starting to come into his own as the number 1 pick, is 19. Jalen just turned 22. Dyson Daniels is 21. Trae himself is only 26. So, you've got a young team, and across the front there, that front line could be together for many years to come. You keep your fingers crossed for that. But Jalen's been good. He's already had a triple-double this year. He's right around it every night. And Quinn is trying to get him to, relax a little bit as far as don't worry about shooting. Just shoot it. He tells all the guys that. If you've got a good shot, take it. Don't worry about it. He's not going to worry about it if it doesn't go in. He's not going to – you don't have to look back to the bench and think you're going to go to the bench if you miss a shot.
Steve, Kyle Draper always gives me a hard time because I love my box scores. So I got the Hawks-Kings box score from November 1st out here. And I know that you do so many games that some of the games have passed, they become a blur. But is there anything that you remember from that meeting on November 1st that you think might give us some indication of what could be important or what might happen in the matchup tonight between these two teams?
Well, I think getting guys back is going to be important for the Hawks tonight. I think they have to obviously try to see what they can do with De'Aaron Fox and see so if they can keep him in check a little bit too. But if the Hawks can not turn it over 27 times, which was amazing last night that they did it that often, and I don't know if it was because it was the first game of the trip coming out west or whatever. Tonight here we are on a back-to-back again, so that makes it a little bit tougher too. But going back to that game, I think both teams have moved forward a little bit and trying to get everybody healthy, which is it's a problem this year around the NBA. Everybody seems to be hurt. We're only 13, 14 games in, so it's crazy.
Yeah. Steve, thank you so much for your time. We know you're very busy on a game
Sure.
day. We appreciate it, and we'll see you out here in a little bit.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I ran into the Bipster today outside of the hotel here. He was a fantastic Hawk too. I know he has the history here with you guys, but he was really Kyle. You'll remember that 2008 series with the Zaza and Kevin Garnett, and the whole nothing is easy, and the whole Rocky thing, where they brought the Zaza out, the boxing thing. That was an incredible 7-game series, and Mike Bibby became public enemy number 1 in Boston in that series because he said that they were just the Hawks just want to win Game 7. And but it was great to see. It was great to see. He looks great too. He looks like he could still play.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway,
he
be that as
stays
it may.
in the gym.
Thank you.
Steve,
guys.
what's crazy about Mike is he's in the gym at 4 a.m. every day. I'm like, dude, you're retired now. You can sleep in, but he's still in the gym at 4 a.m. every day. It's crazy.
I'm sure that Jim has to replace all the hand sanitizer too, because he's one of those guys. He was a germaphobe. He was a germaphobe before it was popular. Before we even had COVID or anything.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thank you. See you tonight. See you in a little while.
All right, see you in a little bit, Steve. All right, man.
Look forward to it. Take care. When we come back, the 49ers' chances to make the playoffs they're not great.
Not great.
Yeah, it's next year, Sacktown Sports.
Join Sacramento State football this Saturday at 2 for the Causeway Classic versus UC Davis. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Shop early, save big, all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Right now, get select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at just $59.98. Don't wait to save. Shop these deals today, in-store or online, because Lowe's knows deals. Discount taken at time of purchase while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
It's kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching
Does this have peanuts?
to waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable, available where fuel additives are sold.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Time to gear up. It's the Black Friday and Gold Saturday open house event at Roseville Power Sports, located at 360 North Sunrise Avenue. We're your home for the best deals on Can-Am side-by-sides, ATVs, and Ski-Doo snowmobiles. Now's the time to save thousands on a brand new Can-Am or Ski-Doo. And check out the all-new Can-Am Maverick R with an incredible 240 horsepower. The Maverick R is built to conquer any terrain, bringing unmatched power and excitement to your off-road adventures. Plus, save 30 to 50% on accessories, helmets, jackets, gear, everything you need to ride in style and safety. This Black Friday and Saturday only. And it's not just about the savings. It's an open house event you won't want to miss. Join us for food, prizes, and more this Black Friday. So head to Roseville Power Sports this Black Friday and Gold Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And let's kick off the holiday season with incredible deals and tons of fun. Some restrictions apply. See store for details. Offers valid on 2024 and prior product while supplies last. Happy holidays from Roseville Power Sports.
It's Black Friday all month long at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. When buying a car, getting a good deal, it's kind of the easy part. Where Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram really sets themselves apart from anywhere else is the experience, from sales to service and everything in between. It's why so many people keep coming back to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's because it's the place where a handshake still means something. And if you've been wanting to experience that Jeep life, there's no better time than now. SacSuperstore.com, located off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
I've got to hand it to Friday's guest, Jerry Reynolds. Remember, Jerry Reynolds, a big Chiefs fan. We asked him about the game this week, and he said, I think the Bills will win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He said, and the
yeah.
Chiefs will use that as fuel, motivation. They'll figure it out. Then they'll use that to beat the Bills in the playoffs. But he called it. Coach called it.
Yeah, he was on it. I mean, that was like the Bills' Super Bowl almost. Like, that was the game they had to have after losing so many times in the playoffs to the Chiefs. You know, you want to exercise some demons, albeit in the regular season.
Yeah, and then that game last night, that was an exciting game. And one of the surprising things is that the Chargers, some people even call it chargering, where you have a game that they're going to win and then they find a way to lose it. They blew a big lead last night, came back and won. And, you know, people are saying, well, it must be Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah. And it might be time for Jay to give Justin Herbert a little love too, right? Give
I
Justin
never got no hate on Justin Herbert.
Oh, all right.
It's the other guy
okay,
doesn't
all right.
like.
It's the other guy.
Really
Joe
doesn't
Burrow.
like the other guy.
Joey Buckets. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Making sure.
Well,
All
Kirk
right.
Cousins in there too,
man.
there. Don't forget about Kirk Cousins. He
Kirk
needs some help.
Cousins, too. Yeah. Man, they had a bad loss, didn't they?
Per
Atlanta,
usual, it's
who
about
they
his
beat?
time to
They
tank.
got crushed by Denver. Denver
yeah.
destroyed
My
them.
boy Bo Nix. Yep.
Annihilated them.
Yep.
Yeah. Jay, I think, is it next Sunday night? I think Kirk Cousins is going to be on the telecast. So you'll want to watch that. I guess they have a bye.
Why would we want to watch
I
Kirk
wouldn't.
Cousins?
I wouldn't.
Right?
Yeah, like next week, Kirk Cousins. Okay, do you want me to watch?
I know.
Why would you tell me that?
That's like what? Some cream of wheat oatmeal or something like vanilla. Like
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins?
Hey,
All right.
speaking of TV stuff, I don't know. Yeah. Did you guys, Jay, you watched the fight, right?
Yeah, I did, unfortunately.
Tyson fight?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Did you have any streaming issues?
Well, yeah, everybody who had I mean, even the owner of
Yeah.
Netflix, the CEO of Netflix had streaming issues.
Dang.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why the NFL is really nervous about that, because on Christmas Day, Netflix has 2 NFL games.
Yeah.
Right.
So the NFL's really worried that they're going to have streaming issues for NFL games on Christmas
Can you
Day.
imagine that? Oh, everybody will be up in arms. And our girl Beyonce has performed
Yeah.
at halftime too of the Texans game, and yeah, it's going to be. You don't want the Beehive mad at you.
No.
Can you imagine that? Oh man, Netflix might implode on Christmas Day.
Now, for her to go on a Netflix game, they must have offered her a lot of money, right?
I don't even know what 10 million,
maybe.
Nah,
I
more
have
than
no
that.
idea.
More than that.
More than that, Jay?
Oh, yeah,
She's
more
not
than
getting out of bed on Christmas Day for 10 million?
Nah.
On a Netflix game?
Yeah.
You know that, yeah.
If Jake Paul allegedly got 40 million or he was promised 40 million, Beyonce's catching 50. Easy.
Damn, can you imagine? that?
Mike got 20.
I'd do it too. I'd get out of bed Christmas Day for 50 million on Netflix. Streaming issues and all.
Yeah.
I did not watch the fight. You watched the fight?
I did
at all?
not watch the fight. I understand that.
I kind of want to go back and watch it, but everybody's saying don't do it.
Don't
Jay.
waste your
Don't
time,
do
man.
it.
Don't waste your time.
Really? It was that bad?
Well, it was.
I think they said Tyson only landed 18 punches.
He only
It's
felt like he
crazy.
only threw 25. But
He only threw?
no, it was well, first of all, what's for lunch? That's more important. I see what's popping off for lunch over there.
Yeah,
Whitey.
yeah.
See some
What
brown
is it?
paper bags.
It's, no, it looks good actually.
This will be my dinner tonight, too, whatever this is.
What's this called? Not General So's, but
a little beef
looks
and broccoli.
solid.
What you got going in there?
Yeah, beef and broccoli. Yeah. Beef and
Okay,
broccoli.
okay.
Jay, you can see that from back there?
No.
Wow,
When you said general, I
X-ray
figured
vision.
it was either beef
Oh,
and broccoli
okay.
or something. You know, I'm a food connoisseur, man.
I was like, damn.
Jay has skills. That's
know,
incredible.
That YouTube video coming clean, man. Ain't no streaming issues there, right?
Jay knew what was in the bag before you did. You had
He
the
did.
bag.
I know. That's funny, man.
Check in here, NFL.com, and your playoff probabilities in the NFC. Number 1, the Lions, of course. Their current playoff probability, according to NFL.com, 99%. The Philadelphia Eagles, second right now in the NFC, 97% chance. The Cardinals are the 3 seed right now, since they're leading the division. 64% only for them, chance to make the postseason. Atlanta is the 4 seed, 73% playoff probability. Vikings at 95%. Packers, the current 6 seed, at 80%, and the Commanders are at 81%. So those are your 7. Those would be, if the playoffs started today, those would be your 7 teams. After that, you've got the Rams at 14% chance of making the playoffs. Then you got the Seahawks, the 9 seed, 21% chance. The current 10 seed, the San Francisco 49ers. According to NFL.com, their playoff probability sits at 31%. 31% chance of even getting in.
Now,
to
hold
the
up.
postseason.
What was the Seahawks probability?
The Seahawks probability is 21%.
So the Niners have a better shot
According
than
to
the Seahawks.
NFL.com, they do, yeah. Even though they're behind them in the standings.
Yeah.
Look, Drapes, 31% is not great. I know you're upset. It's not lower.
Because I'm on this other site, playoffstatus.com.
Oh, okay.
And they got the Niners' chances of making it at 11%.
Woo!
Yes. And the Seahawks' chances of making it at 18%.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that's why I was a little thrown off there a little bit. 31%. Well, here's the thing. This is where the Niners the best they can do in the division is 3-3, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
They got to win out against who they got, the Rams one more time and the Cardinals one more time.
Right.
And they got to hope the Cardinals lose
Yes.
a couple as well. And so,
And as you mentioned earlier, the Cardinals' schedule is
yeah, I got their schedule right here.
nothing to really quake in fear of.
Well, I mean, you know,
You got a couple
You guys, they still have what, 4 division games. They got Seattle twice. They got the Rams, and they got the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
So, but right now they're 2-0 in the division. Right now, if I'm correct. Let me see. Yeah, 1-2. They beat the Rams and the Niners, and so if they go 1-3 over their last 4, and one of the wins is against the Niners, they got the division tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Here's their schedule, Whitey. At Seattle, they could lose that game. At Minnesota, Seattle again, New England, Carolina, Rams, and Niners.
Yeah, so they take care of their divisional business. They're in great
Right,
shape.
they're in great because they're non-conference, non-division. Other than at Minnesota, you got New England and Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able, if you're serious about making a play.
Yeah, if they're nearly as good as we think they are right now.
Right.
They had the bye week. Yeah. You know, the 49ers keep having to play teams coming off the bye. That's not fair. Schedule makers have to get them.
All right, John
Every
Lynch.
week they're playing somebody
What you
coming
wanna
off of a bye.
Submit a protest to the league office or something. You play who's on the schedule.
Yeah.
No matter what.
The league should know the 49ers are good for business. Should do them favors with the scheduling. Jay, so far on our list of things that Kyle Shanahan has done wrong, because so many people today are saying it's time to start thinking about a change there. So what the heck? We're putting together a list of things he's done wrong. Jay has 2017, the draft, passing on Mahomes.
Okay, yep.
2018, going out and getting Jimmy G and then passing on Tom Brady, which I'd forgotten about.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I had the Trey Lance. Yeah. The Trey Lance deal. You could also throw, I don't know if you want to lump them together, but both Super Bowls, the losses. How about apparently not knowing the rules of overtime
Super Bowl, yeah.
in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's a coaching error, right?
Yeah,
Can't
either
be on
he
the
didn't know
players.
or he didn't inform his
Didn't tell
players.
his team.
Derek Armstead said, I didn't know that the rules were different.
Yeah, that's up
That's
there
a
as
big
well.
one.
That's up there.
Is that the complete list there, Jay? Does that cover it?
Nah, come on, man.
We
Slow
got
down
more,
over
right?
there. Slow down over there. Yeah, slow down over there. We talking about Super Bowls. I give you and quarterbacks. I give you another one. How about if Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won 2020, who won 2021? How about that was from the NFC
Rams?
West? That would be the
Yeah,
LA
the
Rams.
beat the Bengals.
They beat the Bengals. With that being said, who got traded to the LA Rams from the Detroit Lions in 2021? That'd be
Ooh,
Matt
you saying
Stafford.
that the Niners should have been
That'd
on
be
there?
Matt Stafford. According to reports, Kyle Shanahan passed on Matt Stafford, which 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and Jared Goff. That would have been Jimmy G, 2 first-round picks, and a second-round pick. Right after you went after Trey Lance, as you talked about right there, and 49ers lost to the Rams, albeit Jaquaski Tart dropped the interception, but Matt Stafford took it to the Super Bowl. So not only have you passed on, not reportedly even scouted Pat Mahomes or Deshaun Watson in 2017, you then passed on someone that you thought was washed up like a car. That'd be Tom Brady, who beat Pat Mahomes, won the Super Bowl. And in 2021, you did not want to go after Matthew Stafford, who beat you and won the Super Bowl. And you gave up 3 first-round draft picks for Trey Lance, who you allegedly did not even want.
Didn't even want.
You didn't even want him.
But he got you to 2 Super Bowls, Jay.
Well, we're not talking about the positive here on the Drive Guys today with the 49ers. We're talking about the negatives here. That I'm just, just keeping the bug. You want more?
That's the thing, man. He's like feast or famine. Like 1 minute he's great and, got you to the Super Bowl. The next is like, what is he doing?
Well, that's the thing, is being one of the best teams in the NFC for many years and getting the Super Bowl twice. Is that like, whoa, great coach? Or in this day and age is like, nope, you didn't win the Super Bowl, failure. I don't know the answer. At this point, I think, overall, he's done a great job
If
for
they
you.
miss the playoffs, though, White,
That changes things, I think.
right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Did he catch a low heat?
I don't know. He's not
fellas?
coaching for his job, is he?
No, I don't think so.
Not yet.
You
but,
still give him
you know,
one more year at least, right?
He's getting, you know, like when you're in your Mercedes and like somebody has a seat warmer, turn on, you don't know it. It's like, what the?
Oh, right.
He's gonna be like that if they don't make the playoffs. Like, whoa,
that'd be the
what's
worst
going
too.
on?
That's
Why
the
is-
worst.
oh,
That's tough. He does have 3 settings too, so it's the third setting is the super hot one.
Yeah.
He's not there.
No,
he's just on the first level, right?
Right,
Where it's
right.
like, okay, all right,
Yeah,
all right.
but he didn't know it's on, so it's like, whoa.
He's like, man,
Hey.
what's going on?
Yeah, you missed the playoffs. Setting 2, right? Moving up to
Right,
setting
right.
2.
Missed the playoffs. Setting 2.
Yeah. You got one more for us, Jay, before we take a timeout?
I'll leave.
Or you wanna
enough.
hold it?
Yeah, we're at 58, so we got a break. I got plenty more for
All
you.
right.
Plenty more.
Well, Jay's making a really good case so far. He's
He got
great
receipts, no
Yes,
doubt about it.
yes. We're back to the Kings when we come back. Is there more than meets the eye to this Kings bench? White Drapes is especially excited about one guy in particular.
Yes.
When we come back on Sacktown Sports.
My whole identity had been wrapped up in being a soldier. To have that so violently ripped from me when I was wounded, I was lost for a very long time. When Wounded Warrior Project came into my life, being around the other warriors, people that had similar experiences that I did, it was a game changer for me. Having King join the group, that was the beginning of a really good friendship. It's a good time.
I first heard about Wounded Warrior Project through CQ. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I qualify. But having been a part of it, it's kind of taught me that it's not just the wounds that you can see, but it's those that you can't.
When you do something like a peer support group with Wounded Warrior Project and come together from different walks of life, man, the growth is incredible. If not for Wounded Warrior Project, I really don't think that I'd be here today.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Tunnel to Towers is a foundation that helps America's heroes by providing homes to first responder families. Get to Twin Peaks and donate $5 to Tunnel to Towers through November 30th and get $5 back to spend on yourself at Twin Peaks this December.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And now that the holidays are here, there is no better time than right now to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is back from now through January 2nd. You may say, Kyle, what is the Holiday Love Celebration? Well, let me tell you, at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can discover exceptional offers on a new Mercedes-Benz, like the 2025 GLC 300 SUV. It's just $559 a month for 36 months. They also have a full lineup of SUVs, vans, electric vehicles, and of course, certified pre-owned vehicles with rates as low as 2.99% APR up to 72 months on select vehicles. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton believes in the true Mercedes car buying experience. So make the short drive down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and see what a true car buying experience is really about. Or, of course, you can go online at mbofstockton.com.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, so the Kings dealing with injuries again tonight. No Malik, no DeMar DeRozan. We don't know officially on Domantas Sabonis, but it doesn't look like he's going to play. But after you get through tonight, you got the rest of the week off until you go to take on the Clippers on Friday. So a chance to rest up, Drapes. Do we know anything more about the Kings' injury status right now?
No, everything's still the same. Domas still listed as doubtful in the last injury report. But we said it the other day, too, Whitey. You know, if he is questionable, I'd say he's playing because he's doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
But Domas is the type, too, man. He don't like to miss. Remember, he played all 82 last season.
Yes.
Like, this is an Iron Man also, just like DeMar DeRozan. So if he is going to miss another game, it's going to it has to be something, you know, where he can't go. And I will say, do you take advantage, like you were saying, of this week where, all right, don't push it tonight.
Right.
Sit out tonight. You'll get 3 more extra days to recover.
Yeah, very tempting. But you know how it is, bad backs, even for Domas. You know, you break his nose or he has a broken thumb. It's like, I'll play. But, you know, sometimes with the backs, like, I just can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't move, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so that's a huge loss if he doesn't go. We already know, obviously, he's an all-star, all-NBA kind of guy, but against this Atlanta team with Clint Capella,
they score a lot of points in the paint, too.
Yeah, they score a lot of points in the paint. And so I think, you know, if he can't go, O-Rob, we're going to need 20, 25 minutes from you tonight. That's our guy. That's our
O-Rob.
We got to get O-Rob on the show.
Yes,
that's
we
our
do.
guy right there.
Are you feeling any better about the Kings bench? Obviously, the weekend was about De'Aaron Fox and his incredible offensive performances. But are we feeling any better about the bench now that the Kings had to rely on the bench a little more in the last 2 games?
I'm trying to keep it real, 100% real.
Okay,
That's
right.
what I do, right? You know?
Yes.
Trey Lyles seems to be back.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Lyles,
And just in time.
Yeah, 2 straight good games. You know, 38 minutes he's played over the last 2 games. Last 5 games better than 10 points. Trey Lyles is back. O-Rob, to me, is the key. Because he gives us, if you got him and Trey coming off the bench, then I think our 4 or 5 backup spots are set. You know, if what we saw the other night against Utah is the real Orlando Robinson, I'm comfortable and confident in him going forward. The question is, though, I'll throw this at you. What's up with our boy Keon Ellis?
Yeah, I know. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
He played 10.5 minutes in the last game.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if, you know, Mike decided to go elsewhere because of, you know, what happened against Minnesota. Keon saving it out of bounds and, you know, led to a turnover. But I also will say Jordan McLaughlin, our boy, has been playing well, extremely well. So you asked me, am I confident? I'm definitely more confident today than I was a week ago.
And, you know, Kings fans being fans, we're all fans. They're very excited about what they saw in only, 12 minutes from Isaac Jones.
How about Isaac Jones? Not only that, Whitey, he was in during the crunch time minutes.
Yeah.
Last 5 minutes of the game,
minutes,
he was out there. And this is a guy that hasn't played. Like, this guy doesn't play. And Mike Brown turned to him down the stretch. And so he made a couple of errors. You know, he had like 2 fouls in like 20 seconds, you know. But for a young player, I thought he was
free throws.
Yep, knockdown free throws. Like, I thought he was fine, man. And so I think this bench is a little deeper than we gave it credit for, or that we even saw. Like, we didn't see these guys. So how can we make up our mind on the bench and say we're all in if these guys don't get any run? But now they're forced to play. Mike Brown's forced to play some of these bench guys. And I think they've responded pretty well.
You know how I kept saying, we all kept saying it. Hey, Trey Lyles got to play better.
Yeah.
And you know, he is.
Yeah.
Well, now that's Doug McDermott's that guy for me. It's like, we know he can do it. Just knock down shots. Make a few more shots.
What he had, 2 last game, two triples, I think he had.
2 for 6, yeah.
Yeah, 2 for 6. And he had good looks, too, man.
Yes.
That's the thing, man. And Doug McDermott shooting 29% from 3. You're right. If he gets cooking, now you're talking 10 deep pretty easily if you're Sacramento. And so he's our next guy. We are off of Trey Lyles now. Dougie McDermott. Let's have a game tonight.
But Kyle Draper was not a fan of the lineup that the Kings opened with against Minnesota Timberwolves, where we finally saw it. We saw Alex Len starting at center alongside Domantas Sabonis, but Kyle Draper didn't like it, and Mike Brown didn't like it much either because Alex Len only played about 8.5 minutes in that game.
Well, here's the thing.
You've never liked it, I'll tell you that.
Exactly.
I'll give you that.
I have
never
not
liked that.
Waffled on that opinion. Because, and I saw it too, first couple of possessions, you know, Alex Len gets the ball about 8 feet on the baseline from the basket, doesn't even look to shoot. I think if Alex is going to play with Domas, he has to be a threat offensively out there. They were just leaving him open out there.
Well, that's right. That first couple possessions, I was just,
you remember that?
Just throwing the ball around.
Yeah, just throwing the ball around. And it's like, dude, you're right there. Shoot it. And so I don't like it. I think, you know, you go with Trey Lyles at the 4. They went super small last game against Utah, though. They had Keegan jump at center. You saw that?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm interested in, if Domas doesn't play tonight, how do you go tonight? Does O-Rob get the start? Does Isaac Jones? Like, what happens here if you're Mike Brown? Because I was shocked. We were shocked the other day when it was Alex Len getting the start.
I don't think there's going to be any pattern. I think Mike Brown's going to go just based on individual matchups. That's why I was saying last week, I don't think fans are going to like this. But I'll just say this before I answer that question. You know, Alex Len, as you well know, the next night against Utah, he had a really nice game.
Who, Alex Len?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know, he was back at his customary 5 position. You know, like he was playing closer to the basket. And I think Alex Len is a very good backup center. You know, you put him at the 5 with Domas, then, you know, it's not much room to operate there for the guards. And so he's still a very good backup center, I think.
Yeah. I'm going with the same lineup I started.
I can't wait. What you got there?
Against the the same lineup they had against the Jazz. Although, again, that's McDermott starting at the 3.
Okay. And Keegan and Trey Lyles?
Trey Lyles had such a nice game.
Against Clint Capella?
Sure.
Yeah.
What are my options? Like I said, Orlando Robinson. You're starting Orlando Robinson with Trey at the 4.
Yeah.
Keegan at the 3.
Dang. This is a tough one. This is hard because I'm trying to think of it on the other end defensively.
Right. There's no really good answer.
Yeah, there's no answer. Like, maybe, you know, you could switch all 5 positions, but I think you'll get annihilated on the glass, right? I don't know. This is why Mike Brown gets paid the big bucks, because I don't know where I would go. Clint Capella is a problem, Whitey. He is a
Then
problem.
I got to go Alex Len again.
Alex Len.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because it's not with Domas. It's Alex Len at the starting 5 with Keegan at the 4, Trey Lyles at the 4, whoever it may be. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So Alex Len, Trey Lyles, and Keegan, right?
Keegan,
That's
yes.
the answer.
Yes.
Are you listening, Mike?
And
on your way in.
And then Dougie McDermott is coming off the bench.
Right.
You know.
Oh, and he's going to be on fire tonight.
That's what I'm saying. I like that matchup. You should be a coach. Yeah. Mike might be listening right now. Of
course he is.
Driving in or something like that. He might be like, damn, I hadn't thought about that, fellas. Thank you. Right?
Oh, yeah. I forgot he was on the team.
Yeah.
And you like what O-Rob brings off the bench? Little juice?
Right. The thing about O-Rob, and we talked about it earlier, man, you know, he played 12 minutes, 6 points, 1 or 2 from the free throw, 2 offensive rebounds, Whitey, in just 12 minutes. I like that. The thing I liked about O-Rob watching him, he wasn't timid. He was looking for his. He was engaged right from the get-go. And I wouldn't be surprised if we started him tonight, to be honest with you, because I thought he gave them some good minutes, some higher energy minutes. You know, the ball didn't stick when he was out there. I was thoroughly impressed with him.
Boy, you know, Mike Brown, he's at the facility. He's trying to get out of his car, but he hears you talk about, wait, who's he going to start now?
Yeah.
I got to hear this before I get in and start working on my game plan.
All right, and now hold on. Let me ask you this. Let's take our bets now. I'm saying he's going to start.
I'll say Lynn and Trey Lyles.
I'll say
with Keegan.
O-Rob and Trey Lyles.
Okay.
I'm saying O-Rob and Trey Lyles. I think a little more. No, you know what? Scrap that. Okay. Isaac Jones and Trey Lyles.
Nice.
Yes, I'm going Isaac Jones and Trey. A little more mobility, foot speed.
Why don't you just go all the way off the board and go Isaac Jones and O-Rob? Huh? Why don't you just get a
dude? You saw who was in the ball game late against Utah. Mike Brown clearly trusted him. So I'm going with some Isaac Jones at the 5.
All right. Drapes putting an historic weekend from De'Aaron Fox in perspective when we come back to the Golden One right here on Sacktown Sports.
Lowe's honors our military community this Veterans Day and every day. To say thank you, verified military members, veterans, and their spouses get 10% off everyday purchases, plus free silver key status with My Lowe's Rewards. It's our way of showing our gratitude to the brave people who have and continue to serve our country. Learn more now at lowes.com/military. 10% discount can't be combined with another offer. Exclusions, terms, and conditions apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Thanks for being with us. Thank you, James, for the popcorn. Drapes, you missed the days of your pregame popcorn? A little bit?
Not at all. Not
Good
at
for
all.
you.
Not at all, dude. It's been tempting though. Trust me.
Right.
Getting back into the
You
season.
want me to move it to the other side so it's not so tempting?
Yeah,
Get some
yeah.
melody?
Please do.
What you eating, kale or something?
ahead.
What you eating?
No, man. I had some of the beef and broccoli. Right
Seaweed.
Hey, you're a
seaweed
big
chips.
vegetable guy, right?
Yeah.
My wife was telling Sheena was telling me today there's a big carrot recall of some kind.
Shut up.
I'm serious.
From where? Costco?
I don't know exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got no serious.
Yeah.
Is it bagged carrots? I would
I'll have
imagine.
to check.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought of you because I wonder if Drapes has any
Yeah.
carrots.
No, I'm a carrots guy.
Yeah. I'll
Carrots
find out
seller.
for you.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah. I have something else for you. I hadn't seen this. Maybe you guys had. Jay, had you heard what made Geno Smith really angry yesterday? Where he said, "Oh, when I
he saw
that,
KJ.
What happened?
Former
Yes.
Seattle Seahawks
Geno Smith,
linebacker.
He saw KJ Wright on the sidelines because he's a Niner coach now. And Geno Smith was on Richard Sherman's podcast, and he said when he saw KJ on the other side, it made him mad, and he had to win after that.
Which is weak, by the way.
Motivation. I like that.
Which is weak, by the way. Fella, hold on. Let's real quick before you assess the situation, Drake. Let me just say this. Geno Smith, you've been getting your braids cut off for the last 3 years when it came to the 49ers. Now, all of a sudden, you want to try to drop a Steph Curry on the night, and you want to throw your arms in the air because you got one victory.
Night on us.
Come on, man. Come on,
Jay,
man.
if you got a problem, stop him, big fella.
Yeah,
if you got a problem,
Dude,
shut
he
him up.
1-5 against the Niners, man. Stop all that situation, man. Collect your check and
My
go ahead
guy
and continue to
Geno
beat the Cardinals, man. Stop all that.
Yeah, here's somebody on Twitter says, I love Geno, but I've seen him crumble too many times. 1-5 all time against the 49ers.
Yeah, hey.
It take a retired linebacker. Right? Wait, it take a retired linebacker to get you fired up.
Man, you guys.
Whatever works. I like Geno. It's a great story.
No, it is a great story. Let me ask you this about Geno.
The night was probably a little bit much.
No, but it was perfect, though. It was perfect.
We'll see if the Niners have anything to say about that next year.
I
Maybe
know
they won't.
Geno has a good arm, but every time he throws the ball, it comes out weird to me.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have the zip or the pop. It feels like every pass he throws might get picked off. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I was looking. Niners had a couple of. What's up with your boy Yadam overplaying that one ball?
Oh, man.
Or was that a perfect pass? Yeah. Jay, you know what I'm talking about. Was
Yeah,
that a bad play? Or
Yeah.
was that a great throw by Geno?
Yeah, that was a terrible play. That was you probably wouldn't have been on the field if Shavarius Ward didn't have personal situation
Yadam's
going
out
on
there. Yeah.
And the other thing with that too, fellas, is that look, I've been quiet enough for the show, man. It's time to fire up the 49ers, man. It's time to fire this up a little bit. Put some heat to the feet. Yeah. I mean, if Rock Ya-Sin is not good enough to overstep what Isaac Yadam is, then we got some problems. I know Ambry Thomas has been hurt pretty much this whole year. Darrell Luter, of course, has been hurt the last couple of weeks, and I know that's the situation. And then again, I know Shavarius Ward is going through some things, but all BS to the side, fellas, Yadam shouldn't even be on the field at this point. Like, he's shown and proved that he's not top quality and he's not a good third cornerback. If Rock Ya-Sin, who's a veteran, been in the league, Raiders many different times, can't get by this guy, then the 49ers have a problem. I'm going to give you another Yadam too. He got the pick, which was thrown to him, which you're correct, Drapes. Geno throws high quite a bit. So you kind of almost guarantee a pick.
Yeah, it's like,
He got the pick, and then he just walked out of bounds. Dude, cut that in and go get you 6, or at least go try to get you 6. Dude just walked out.
I have more. What do you think of this, Jay? 49er fans, Kyle Draper from Grant Cohn 21 minutes ago. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy day-to-day with shoulder soreness.
He running like he Lamar Jackson. That's why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Injury was a result of a hit that he took during the game. Did not affect his performance, is what they say. Unclear whether he will practice on Wednesday. He's probably going to play. He'll be fine. I think he's had a bad wing all year long. But anyway.
What makes you think that
He
way?
can't throw. He throws the ball 10 yards downfield, and it's a completion, but the ball's like, and he's underthrowing guys. Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of
he just
it's
threw
not
for
skill.
350 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but he's throwing a lot of short stuff, a lot of underneath stuff, and he had to throw that much because they couldn't run the ball. He's throwing some weird balls. We're just throwing high. Guys are wide open, and he's sailing it over their heads.
Let me
I think
pull
he's
out my
overcompensating.
Debo wasn't wide open on that.
Excuse making.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start writing down the Purdy excuses.
Here you go. Here you go.
Boy Wonder ain't playing.
Why is that an
playing.
excuse?
I'm just saying.
I'm saying that's one reason why he hasn't been very good.
No, but
He
there
can't
is
throw.
zero to base that on. Like, it's
You haven't been watching him throw?
No, there's no reports. This is the first time we've heard.
No one's going to report that. You think
Grant
Kyle
Cohn
Shanahan's
just reported something.
You think Kyle Shanahan's going to come out and
All
say,
right,
yeah,
Purdy is injured. No, I'm
bad wing.
Bad wing.
Quarterbacks
Purdy.
get that a lot. That happens a lot.
What is this, a 49er excuse list, or is this a Purdy excuse list?
He ain't on no limited during practice. He ain't on no questionable. He ain't on no didn't take part in practice. He's out at every practice, but no, this is going to be a I'm gonna make 2 lists: Purdy, and then a Niners one.
Last year, I think it was in late November or December, Brock Purdy, and I'll look it up. This is factually verifiable. He told Troy Aikman, he said, "Yeah, my arm hasn't been right all year." He said that last year. That wasn't a story.
An MVP caliber season.
Yeah, but he said my arm hasn't been right all year.
Okay.
I think he's still having issues with it. I think it's part of the problem. And I'm not saying that to make excuses.
This is excuse making 101.
Don't you see
This
it?
is,
No, we're trying to figure out
coming
what's
out of
wrong.
nowhere.
What's wrong with this team?
Maybe he's not good. Maybe he's not as good as he was last season, Whitey. Maybe he's an average to slightly above average quarterback.
Well, he's better than that when he's healthy, but teams right now
When he's
are
healthy.
daring.
I thought he was healthy all season.
Yeah,
Let me check the injury report.
Oh, come on.
Niners doesn't put down everybody on the
right.
on the Niners roster has been on the injury, but the quarterback's not.
If
and
the
now you're
guy's
coming
not
up
on
with
the
this.
injured list, he's not hurt. You're right. That's absolutely
You're
true.
making stuff up, man. You're just making
I'm
things
saying,
up.
look at the way teams are playing them. Brock Purdy, we dare you to beat us.
I think it's a Purdy thing, though, Whitey. Yeah. But I'm with you, Drapes, on this one. I don't think it's a Purdy thing. I think it's a talent thing. I think they figured things out when it comes to and I think this further, and I'm not saying Purdy has been great, but he hasn't been bad. There's a lot of opportunity for Purdy to be a lot worse than he's played. When you look at these games,
I agree with that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I would say
Sorry.
No, please. By my opinion, I would say Purdy is really, and Drapes likes to do this, the bling pie, right? The pie. I think Purdy is one of those guys. He's got a kitty slice of the pie right now when it comes to the 49ers. I think if there's anyone to look at and be like, okay, this dude has been pretty solid and positive all year, Whitey, you would have to think Purdy's that guy, right?
Yes, he has been. But I'm telling you, there's been some weird throws. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the problem, but it's part of the problem. And other teams know it, the way they're playing him. And they're playing man-to-man against Purdy, right? And they're blitzing him on third down and forcing him to throw underneath. I'm not saying
that's good game planning.
That's not Purdy issue.
Down, you should blitz and force them underneath on a 3rd and 11. That has nothing to do with Brock Purdy. That has to do with the Niners. No deep threats at all. They don't have anybody that you're scared of blowing the top off.
That's true.
You know, to me, that's more of the issue for the Niners. I'm gonna put Brock Purdy on the bottom shelf there. I'm looking at the playmakers aren't getting it done for the Niners this season.
They don't have enough of them right now. And the ones they have, like CMC, is like he's not really a playmaker right now.
Are they missing Ayuk?
Yeah.
Big time, right?
Yeah.
And not Ayuk of earlier. We're talking Ayuk of last year. Like, even when he was playing this year, Ayuk was not good. We can all, I think, agree with that. But it's not just him, Whitey. CMC's not the same.
Yeah.
Debo's not the same.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's just Kittle and, JP Mason when he gets some run. Everybody else is having lower seasons than what they had.
Why are you the biggest anti-Purdy guy in the state of California until the day when I say, I think he's got a bad arm, and then you're like, it's not Purdy's fault?
No, because I don't want to make excuses. Like Purdy definitely deserves some blame pie, but I'm looking at them weapons. I'm not scared of Jawan Jennings. Debo don't scare me anymore. Kittle, I'm scared of Kittle. Kittle's a game changer.
They missed him
They missed
yesterday.
him big time. CMC, I don't know about yet, but if I'm game planning for the Niners, I'm game planning for the ground game, the short plays. I'm not worried about my a one-on-one, somebody beating me deep, because we mentioned it 4 weeks ago. They're not getting the separation, Whitey.
No,
that's not on Purdy.
CMC reminds me a little bit of when C-Webb came back from his injury, and it's not a perfect comparison, but when Chris Webber came back, he was starting. Kings were starting him, and they weren't playing as well. And people were wondering, why is he playing so much? He's not shooting well. Rick Edelman said, for us to get to where we want to get to, we've got to get him back to what he was.
Yeah.
So they kept playing him. So that, to me, clearly is kind of where the Niners are with CMC. For us to get to where we were last year, where we can compete for a Super Bowl, we got to get CMC back to what he was. And he's not there. Will he get there this year? I don't know, but I think that's why they're riding him so hard.
Let me ask you this, though, because I understand that philosophy. But wasn't JP Mason balling out?
Yes.
I love it.
Right? Like, why does it have to be, and I'm not asking you this, I'm just throwing this, why does, in Shanahan's sake, it have to be all or nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The only thing I can think of is, again, teams are loading the box and they're figuring, well, if we have him in there, they know we're going to run it. But I would run. Remember last year, the little bit he did play was in situations where we got to run the ball and run out the clock because we've got the lead. And you had a situation like that yesterday, and they didn't go there.
Yeah.
So it's a little puzzling.
Fellas, let me throw a life change.
What was it?
Excuse me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I've said let me throw out just a mind-boggling, life-changing observation. There's something just going to blow your mind, fella. Just blow your mind. And I can't understand why Kyle Shanahan can't see this. How about you put both of them back there? How about you scheme something up where both of the guys are back there? Like, it's not.
I got to take use check.
Yeah, okay, but what is use check giving you?
Yeah.
What is use check giving you this year?
I understand, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to think that's probably how Shanahan's looking at it.
Which is a problem. That's a problem. And I think that's what Drapes is saying, and a lot of guys are saying, a lot of 49er, people who are disparaging what the 49ers have been doing is you start to look at the blame pie, and when you consistently have been thrown in your face, genius, boy wonder, quarterback whisper, the greatest offensive play caller ever since, whoever. And we can't scheme some of these things open. We can't create some of these things. When I look on the television and I see Andy Reid throwing flea flickers and quick pitches and all, but you constantly continue to do, as you talked about, Whitey, that counter pull. That's washed and over with. Get that out the way. The defenses are geared up for that. They're telling you. Devin Witherspoon came out and said this week, we will press and man coverage the 49ers to death.
Yeah.
He came out and said it. Kyle Shanahan, are you not listening to that? Does nobody pull out a phone and pull up a TikTok for Kyle Shanahan to realize what these guys are telling you? Whitey, yes, like, come on, Whitey. We got to stop making excuses for certain things, man. Like, Shanahan's got to be better when you have told us, not you, but people have told us Shanahan is better. That's where we at with this point.
Yeah, he even said yesterday, according to Brock Purdy, Shanahan took some of the blame.
First time
after
ever.
The game in the locker room. Who knows what's said in there, but it's the first time we've heard of that. Maybe that's a step in the right direction if he's actually acknowledging, wow, I need to be better. Because he does.
I don't.
He does.
He does. I'm just not buying it, man. I just think Shanahan is it's his operation. It's his. He's not adaptable. He's not flexible. You know what I mean? This is our system. This is what we're going to do. And like Jay said, teams are catching up.
He doesn't evolve. I'll give you
like
another word. He doesn't evolve.
Right. Yeah.
Because he's figured we're better than everybody.
Yep.
We just stay with what we do. And now it's to the point where that's not working.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your move. You're going to have to make some adjustments. And we'll adjust back to the Kings when we come back. I want to get Drape's thoughts on the history that took place in this building over the weekend and what it was like to call it. Next on Sacktown Sports.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you gotta see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
It's Black Friday all month long at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. When buying a car, getting a good deal, it's kind of the easy part. Where Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram really sets themselves apart from anywhere else is the experience, from sales to service and everything in between. It's why so many people keep coming back to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's because it's the place where a handshake still means something. And if you've been wanting to experience that Jeep life, there's no better time than now. SacSuperstore.com, located off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
When it's cold and rainy outside, Bonnie is leading the way home. Right now, stay warm and cozy with a full furnace tune-up, just $59. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Schedule an appointment today at Bonnie.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Thank you to Farmer Bleasy 22 and some others who've helped us out figuring out which carrots are recalled, because Drapes is a big carrots guy. So organic carrots from Grimway Farm.
Never heard of Grimway, though. Never heard of Grimway.
Adam L. says in the chat, fire Shanahan, hire Bieniemy.
Oh, Eric Bieniemy. He didn't quite work out, though, right, in Washington?
He was kind of too hard-nosed for some players. Old school.
Yeah.
I don't think they're to a point where you want to fire Shanahan, right? That wouldn't make any sense right now. But I think it's fair to say, Kyle Shanahan, let's see your move. What do you got here? Yeah, situations are far from ideal here, and you've got a lot of injuries you're dealing with, but what are you going to do about it? Whatever it is, we need it now, right? If you're ownership, let's go.
Yeah, you need it now. Now's your time, right? And so I'm not saying fire Shanahan. I'm giving him one more year, though. If it don't happen next year, next season, let's say they flame out, miss the playoffs this year, you're not in the conference championship or challenging, contending, I think you got to start looking at some things. It's because not people will say, well, he got him to the Super Bowl twice, Whitey. I could also say they've underachieved in his tenure too.
Yeah, that's probably
and
fair.
I'm talking, don't make the playoffs this year.
Mhm.
Next year, maybe aren't a contender or something. Like, you could look at it and say, yeah, but you underachieve. And that's on the coach. Like, you ain't firing the players unless, they say he's our guy. You're just going to keep riding with him.
Yeah. The scary thought is that maybe the window is kind of closing now, and that last year was their best chance with this core. I don't know if that's true, but, sometimes teams – they're heading the wrong direction right now. Was last year their best chance? Was that when they really should have gotten it done? They weren't able to, and now they're going to have to reload a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's hope not,
Right.
but it's certainly possible. Certainly on the board.
Well, here's the
so
thing.
many injuries. Some of your key players getting older.
Yeah, and the thing about it too is, now that we're at this point in the season, you never know that's your best chance until you see what happens after that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that might have been their best chance. The way this is going, it seems like the Eagles, my Eagles too, that might have been their best chance a couple of years ago. We got to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But with this core, I would be shocked. And I know we've got a lot of football left to be played. We talked about Ayuk's contract, the decisions that need to be made. I would be shocked if Debo is on the roster next season. I think at, 26 million, 27 million, whatever it is, that's a lot of money. You're paying Ayuk $30 million. You got Tricky Ricky P coming up.
Mhm.
You got Jawan Jennings. That's a lot of money. And so, and speaking of Ricky Pearsall, where was he yesterday?
Yeah.
Zero
that's a great
targets.
question.
0 targets. I mean, we could talk about this all day,
Mhm.
Monday morning quarterback it.
Yeah. Now, Kyle Shanahan hasn't won a Super Bowl, but your coach won a Super Bowl, and then he was fired, 3 years after? Doug Peterson?
Yeah.
I mean, he won a Super Bowl.
And he actually won a Super Bowl, but then it went after that. And, some people say they caught lightning in a bottle a little bit that year. Remember, Carson Wentz got hurt.
Right.
Doug
Peterson might get fired again.
Yeah, he might get fired again, right? But I heard the GM was going to stay on. Did I read that?
Trent Baalke?
Yeah,
the former 49er.
Yeah,
I guess they like the way he's put the roster together, but I don't know. Yeah, he was here when Harbaugh was coach, but I guess they didn't quite get along. So anyway,
all right.
Let's see. Onward and upward. The 49ers, you look at that division, they still got a fighting chance. They just got to win some divisional games. They can't keep giving games away. As bad as they've been, they're still in the thick of the playoff race for what that's worth.
And
right in the thick of it.
They're in the thick of the playoff race. You know, it's what's interesting, and I got to do the math and the numbers. Like right now, the Cardinals lead the division, so you want them to lose. But the Seahawks, you don't want to win. You know what I mean? Or the Rams, you don't want to win. Like, you know, you got to
– gets tricky.
It gets tricky. So you got to win doors and need some help a couple of times as well.
Yeah. De'Aaron Fox didn't have much help this weekend, so he had to do it all himself. What was it like calling those games in which, as you pointed out several times, he made Kings and NBA history?
It was phenomenal. It was fantastic. It was probably the greatest weekend I've had in Sacramento in terms of calling games. You know, we had the playoff games, obviously, but I wasn't on the call for that. In terms of energy, in terms of the crowd, in terms of the magnitude, in terms of watching the performance, and Whitey, mom and dad from Philly were here as well.
Yeah.
You had the parents in the stands, kids here Friday and Saturday. It was phenomenal, man. And let's go back to Friday. Looked like the Kings were left for dead at one point in that game, but they rallied back. The crowd got into it. Fox couldn't miss. And then Anthony Edwards taking over. It was probably the best weekend in terms of play-by-play I've had in my career. The outcome wasn't what I wanted, obviously, on Friday, but in terms of just, and I said it during the broadcast, it was one of those where were you when kind of moments that we had. Where were you when De'Aaron Fox scored 60 points for the Sacramento Kings?
That had to be a thrill to go on Sirius XM today and talk about that for you. I'm sorry. That
was the other guy. That was Mark.
Sorry.
Why are you doing that, man?
That was
that's tough, man. I think Mark was calling some Colorado football or something like that. Your boy was here in the trenches. I got to witness it. That's all right. I'm gonna text somebody because I think that was the Antonio Daniels show that I heard it on. I'm gonna text AD and be like, "Bro, what you doing, man?" I was there courtside. You know what I mean? I was there, but I will say this too, real quick. Fox named Western Conference Player of the Week. Fox was on NBA Today. De'Aaron was on NBA TV yesterday, I believe it was. So it has been the talk of the league, you know, this last weekend. He's getting his due, I think. And I'm looking for another similar performance, not 60, but like 40 or so tonight. Like he's going to have to score for us. And so this dude is on a heater right now. And you know what's crazy? I was in the building when Devin Booker scored 70 against the Celtics. And they lost that game too. And it was like he couldn't miss. He tried to will his team to win. Same thing with De'Aaron Fox. But yet the team concept won out that night.
Now, you know that the Hawks are not a great defensive team, but whatever defensive effort they can muster to try to slow down De'Aaron Fox, I mean, he's clearly going to be the focal point of whatever defense they can muster tonight.
Right.
So be interesting to see how he decides to handle that. He's going to need somebody to make a few shots, right?
Yeah.
Keegan's got to play better offensively.
Yeah, I was.
Keegan seems to shrink when De'Aaron is dominating the offense. It seems like Keegan can't get into the offense, and I think he even said that. Friday night.
Yeah, and I was watching Keegan the other night. I still feel like he's searching for his spots in the offense.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem. And I did some digging. I looked at some numbers. Believe it or not, Whitey, his usage is lower than it was his rookie season. So he's not involved in as much of the action like he was last year, even 2 seasons ago. And so I think he's struggling to try to find out where his spots are. Like even when he tries to get in his bag, it seems like he's thinking out there. And so maybe, and we know Mike doesn't run a whole lot of plays, but he has started to run more plays as of late. Maybe you call some stuff for Keegan to get him going early on.
That his usage rate is down, and I hadn't looked it up, but that it's down this year is not a total surprise, is it? Because you know that DeMar DeRozan, when he comes on, we thought that it was going to be lower, but you would have thought that over the last 2 games it would have been pretty high, and I don't think it has been.
Right, and the fact that his usage is lower than his rookie season even when he was mostly just a catch and shoot guy. You know what I mean? It's like, and we did think his numbers would go down. His shot attempts would go down. But he's averaging 13.2 points per game. This is supposed to be, and to your point, DeMar's been out a couple of games.
Right.
You know, Malik's been out. Like, you would think Keegan would get more opportunities, and it's just not happening. So I'm looking for him to break out of a slump this season, tonight.
Yeah, back with more, including the end of the era, the Royale era. When we get back, Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Join Sacramento State football this Saturday at 2 for the Causeway Classic versus UC Davis. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Calm and pleasant on Monday night. Temperatures dropping into the mid-30s to start Tuesday. We'll see increasing clouds. Tuesday stays dry with highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at theaeway.com for an instant quote. That's theaeway.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, pet parents. With Progressive's collision coverage, you get extra protection for your cat or dog, because there's nothing worse than seeing your pet hurt. Like when you see their face after accidentally stepping on their tail, and you say, "I'm so sorry, Mr. Pickles." But as you kiss his nose and rub his little belly welly, you know Mr. Pickles is thinking, "You betrayed me." Anywho, Progressive pays up to $1,000 in vet bills if your pet is injured in an auto accident. Learn more at Progressive.com and watch where you step. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Collision coverage subject to policy terms. Not available in all states. Check, check, and check. That's the sound of me getting a jump start on my holiday list. But I can't take all the credit. Kohl's makes it too easy. I got my daughter a mini instant camera, my husband his favorite cologne, my sister Kookaburra by UGG slippers, and that's just the beginning. Then I got 20% off some of my other gifts. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offer valid through November 23rd. Coupons do not apply to Tech, Sephora at Kohl's, and Kookaburra by UGG. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Toyota's Black Friday sales event ends soon. Take advantage of the biggest savings of the year and gear up for adventure in a legendary Toyota truck.
Ready, set, let's go.
Get $2,000 cash back on Tundra and Tundra Hybrid, or lease a Tacoma 4x4 for as low as $269 a month.
Ready, set, let's go.
The clock is ticking on Toyota's Black Friday sales event. Don't miss out. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers of premium ready credit ends 12/2/24.
The holidays can be tough for some, especially if things from your past are still following you around to this day. Now, don't be afraid of your past this upcoming holiday season, as an expungement can help. And that's where the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez comes in, as he's local and has a great track record. Now that expungement can help you get a job, get your life back in order, and you'll also get your constitutional rights back. He's offering discounts on expungements now through Christmas. Call 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Kings and the Atlanta Hawks tonight. I don't know why, Drapes. The Hawks They don't scare me, but I'm not as comfortable with this game tonight as I feel like I should be. Maybe it's just because of all the injuries. But the Hawks will put some pressure on you. I know they played last night, but they'll put some pressure on you. They'll get up and down the floor.
Yeah, they like to run, Whitey. They're good in terms of deflections and steals. I got the numbers right here. Third in deflections, second in steals. This team can score the ball. They're sixth in terms of scoring at 117 points per game. So there should be a little bit of a track meet. I'm down for that. I'm and if you get De'Aaron in the open floor, watch out. Lights out, man. This guy could go for 40 tonight, I think.
Yeah. I saw somebody wrote a piece about him for Defector, and they were comparing him. Somebody scores 60. What greats does he remind you of? And I'd never thought of this with De'Aaron. He's kind of hard to find a comp for.
Yeah.
Because he's so unique. But the guy who wrote this piece, I have his name here somewhere, Patrick Redford, I believe. Patrick Redford said he's kind of like what John Wall never quite became. In terms of the speed. And John Wall never quite got – he was a good player, but De'Aaron is similar, but just a lot better with the speed.
I mean, John Wall is a multiple-time All-Star too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a hell of a career, just got cut short.
Right.
And so and John
he
Wall's
wasn't a
been
shooter.
To multiple playoffs too. I mean, that's I think De'Aaron has that similar quickness with the ball. You know what I was thinking of though, as you were saying this, and I might be off by this. Nate Tiny Archibald in this regard. The ability to get anywhere on the floor with the dribble and to score over bigger people. That's what I see from De'Aaron Fox, too. He's not as small as Nate Tiny Archibald, obviously, but Nate Tiny Archibald, you cannot bottle up. It's the same thing with John Wall, too, with his quickness as well. But De'Aaron Fox, his ability to split a double team or to just get around a guy, I mean, it's unmatched. It reminds me a little bit of Nate Tiny Archibald.
Where is Tiny's jersey? I know it's up here somewhere.
Is it over on the other side there?
Yeah.
I can't. Blocked off by the
yeah, right. Yeah, and it's not every game where you're talking about Jack Twyman.
Jack Twyman, right? Seriously, if we mentioning Jack Twyman, you're doing something good. Uh-oh. Look who's on the floor, looking like he's ready to put in work. Oh, Rob, our guy. Man, I'm ready for this dude. Because here's the thing about O-Rob. He don't smile. He not laughing. He out there trying to get his business done. And that's what I like. Look at him, Whitey. First thing he does, grab a couple baskets, works on his dribbling. I like, he ain't dapping nobody up. He ain't giving nobody pounds, shaking no hands, nothing. He's about his work. I'm like it. No, I said Isaac Jones tonight as the starter, but O-Rob will get some minutes tonight for sure.
We need to, or you need to come up with the musical bit they play whenever he scores. That's what you. As a president,
I have to do some research. Yeah. Look at his background a little bit.
Yeah.
Come up with something.
Yeah, for Domas, it's Seven Nation Army.
Yeah.
And then they have different ones for
everybody. Yeah. I got to come up with something.
Because you're already clearly, you and Jay. Jay was the first one I ever heard call him, oh, Rob. I don't know if he came up with that, but he was the first one I heard call him that.
Look at he just gets right to work, man. He ain't come in tying his shoes. He didn't come in and sit down with the coaches. He said, I'm here to get my work done and get this business taken care of.
Who's working him out, fellas?
Rob.
Who's his coach? Who's working him out?
We got my man Chuck Allen working him out here right now. Yeah, Chuck is working him out.
He's just working around the key on his short jumpers. It's really a one-hand push shot he's got.
Yeah, see, look at him.
Inside 8
Finish
feet.
around the basket.
Give me the breakdown, Whitey. How's that shot looking from Coach Gleason?
It looks good, Jay. Yeah, it looks really good. Nice soft arch, and he might have missed one, but maybe not. Now he's working on getting the ball from the wing and taking it to the basket, just going outside, setting the screen, pick and roll.
That's
and
money.
That short jump shot, a little bit short. Yeah, but it's almost a one-handed push from inside the painted area.
Yeah, exactly.
He's deadly with it.
He looks good, man. And he's a big body too. And he looks like a rectangle out there. He's got that size and broad shoulders.
By the way, we have, and pardon me for mentioning this.
Oh, look at this right here.
Absolute radio royalty.
Royalty right here.
Behind us with the G-Man hanging out with our guest from 3:30, the voice of the Hawks. Steve Hullman. Yeah.
I know. Think about that, right?
How many years
You
is that?
guys, he said 80 years. G-Man's got 40. You got 40 also? Dang, Steve. What's up, big dog?
Yeah.
How you been, man? You good? Thanks for coming
on with
us
us today, Steve. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, get out of your way here. Yeah, that was quite a meeting there between the two of them.
Think about that. They've seen it all. 40 years of NBA broadcasting each out here.
Yeah. One thing that I don't think Steve Hullman will see, he's seen it all. He's probably not going to see Royale tonight because it looks like the Royale era drapes, as you will. It is all over.
I'm disappointed, man. You know why?
I can't see why.
No, because Whitey, Royale was gave us content. He was a talker. It was like talking piece. Like, we could talk, but now he's just gone.
Yep.
Like, this is it. After tonight, we can't talk about Royale anymore.
Right.
Like,
That's not true. That's not true.
For a few games. What else can we talk about, Jay?
Short-lived situation. You can always look back on history.
Yeah, like, hey, remember Royale? Yeah.
Dude, I need a Royale shirt or like they should have did all that. Like, do it up big.
Somebody in the Chateau said they have a shirt or sweatshirt or something that has Royale on.
Really?
So they may have.
They might have got some.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I gotta.
Unless they got rid of all those too. I don't know.
Collector's item, and then get Royale to sign it. Like whoever was,
you have to send it to Cincinnati, I guess.
Cincinnati, right?
Have to make a trip there.
So what was, in all honesty, what was wrong with Royale?
I don't know for sure, but I can tell you that people instantly, almost universally, had a really bad reaction to it. We can sit here and say, I didn't like this, I don't like that, but just kind of observing from reactions from, like Darren Fox was a classic example. Yeah. We saw it. So many people reacted that same way for whatever reason to that. It was like, what is that?
People don't like change, man. I was, and I remember during the text exchange, Jay brought it up, and I didn't know what he was talking about at first. You didn't, and then we saw it go viral, and like, oh, I'm gonna miss Royale, man. Like, seriously, they should make.
I thought you said he wasn't here long enough.
No, I already miss him. No, that's what I'm saying.
How you miss something we didn't have?
Dude, I fall in love.
I was all in
a day, big fella.
Yeah.
That's how you know what I mean. Like,
if your
like
on your
I
sleeve,
like something.
Yeah.
Kyle was a big Royale guy.
I really was.
Yeah,
I actually like the name Royale. That's pretty clever, man.
Yeah. See, that's the other thing, and maybe I'm the only one that looked at it this way. But when the Kings were going to leave here and go to Anaheim, before they almost went to Seattle, they were going to be the Royals again. And there's something about, no, we ain't the Royals. We're not the Royals.
Oh,
I know
they were going to be the Royals again?
They were going to be the Anaheim Royals. They had actually, the Maloofs had trademarked that. Anyway, that's not Royale's fault, but it didn't help.
We still get a little connection to the Royals, though, right?
I know.
Like,
that's
we
true.
still,
Used to be
celebrate our, history and everything. And
they would still be the Royals if they hadn't moved to Kansas City, because they were the Cincinnati Royals, go to Kansas City. Kansas City already had the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
So they had to change it to the Kings.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let me ask you this, though. Slamson. Explain it to me. Like, is it
there used to be a mascot? Does
or
anyone else remember the lion
logo? Okay.
There was a mascot before Slamson, and he was just kind of a goofy, and
For
I
the
think he was
Kings?
just a lion. Yes.
Okay.
And either they redid him or they replaced him with Slamson. I don't know, except that it's a great question.
I didn't know the origin of it.
I'm not sure anyone does. They came up with the lion about the time that the Lion King was a big hit. But you couldn't call him that because you get sued by Disney. So that
would have been
my
sweet.
theory.
The Lion King, get it?
Yeah,
That would have been sweet.
So I think that's kind of, the king of the jungle.
Yeah.
The lion and king. So I think it's kind of that connection.
All right. I'm on NBA.com for trying to get the intel on Slamson. He's received the NBA's most valuable cat award 12 times. Generates more than 12 million smiles per year and averages 338 hugs per appearance.
You're going deep into the analytics.
Yeah, sometimes
mascot
delivering
analytics.
more than one hug to the same person. Like, so
Yeah.
he was acquired by our King Scouts while taking a cat nap under a tree in Capitol Park.
Yeah.
That's how, okay.
Unfortunately, we have to take a break now.
Darn.
Yeah. Jay, Yeah. Jay, do you remember the lion that the
I
mascot before Slamson?
No, I don't.
He was just kind of a goofy. Yeah. All right. I wonder if G-Man remembers.
G-Man probably does.
We
yeah.
come back. Probably does. We come back with the secret to De'Aaron Fox's incredible success from the Golden One on Sacktown Sports.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Even if you've tried before and were unsuccessful in getting rid of your timeshare, call today and see if we can help. We offer a complete 100% unconditional client satisfaction guarantee. Make this completely free call and learn how we can help you legally put an end to your timeshare nightmare once and for all. You have nothing to lose, so call right now to qualify and receive a free consultation.
Call 800-838-8614. 800-838-8614. That's 800-838-8614.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Facts are facts, and the facts show that for eliminating hip, knee, back, leg, and foot pain, it's the Good Feet personalized arch support system, clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet arch supports are designed to help put your feet and whole body back in pain-relieved proper alignment. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book your free fitting at Good Feet in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. Napoleon grills that features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just because it's November does not mean we can't barbecue outside. Visit California Backyard now for your best selection of grills and Napoleon Grills accessories.
Carmichael Dave with a simple question. What are you thankful for this year? So many things to consider, but one thing we can all agree on is a well-running vehicle to get you where you need to go each and every day. Jiffy Lube would like to say thank you to all their customers this November. Whether a weekend road trip to Lake Tahoe or your daily commute to work, Jiffy Lube has you covered. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1984. Visit jiffylube.com today to find a location near you, generous oil change coupons, and more. Happy Thanksgiving and holiday driving from Jiffy Lube.
The holidays are always a great time to get together with family and friends, but nothing beats the thrill of Stockton Honda's deals. During Happy Honda Days, find the perfect ride in person or online. With over 400 new Hondas ready to go, now is the time to buy at Northern California's #1 Honda deal, Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With wet weather here, you're probably going to play a few rounds in the rain, so keep a few things in mind in those wet conditions. The ball probably won't go as far because you'll get little, if any, run out. If you tend to hit the ball low, maybe think about adjusting the loft of your driver to carry the ball farther. And when you get to the short clubs on the wet ground, your wedge can have a tendency to dig into the turf, so focus on hitting the ball first. And if you occasionally spin the ball back on the greens, expect more of that to happen when they're wet. Now, all of this assumes that you're ready to play in the rain. You own waterproof shoes and rain gear, rain gloves, which work best when wet, and an extra towel to keep everything else dry. But the most important thing you should bring to the first tee is a positive attitude. I found some of my most memorable rounds have been played in the rain. Overcoming the conditions to enjoy yourself while possibly shooting a good score makes for a great day. And remember, golf is a game, even in the rain. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
You can imagine how busy Gary Gerald is hours before a game here. We begged him and we've convinced him to join us just for a few minutes here. Thank you, G-Man. We want to get your thoughts on what it was like to see De'Aaron Fox do what he did. And also, thank you for helping us get Kyle through this difficult time. He's having a really hard time with the whole Royale.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that was my guy.
I posted yesterday on social media, Royale, we hardly knew you.
Yeah.
And that was, wow, come and gone.
You know what Royale is like? That number one draft pick that we never really get to see.
Purvis Ellison?
Yeah. You said that, G-Man. I did. But so much promise. So much to look forward to. So much, he could have been a Hall of Famer maybe someday.
It's kind of Drew Gooden-esque, wasn't it, his time here?
Drapes, you got to get a life.
No, come on. I'm just saying, G-Man, we didn't see him once. Like, I wanted to see him run out. Like,
well, that's true.
At least give him a shot.
See if he scared the kids or not.
Right. I told you I was going to get a picture taken with him and everything.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Slamson's tough competition.
Yeah,
he is. Yeah. He is. In the pantheon of all you've seen as your time doing Kings games, where does what you saw from De'Aaron Fox this weekend rank, G-Man?
It's right up there. It was. I know it's easy to look and ooh and on one thing or another, but when you consider that the only others in the history of the NBA to do what he did in the span of 24, 26 hours were Kobe Bryant and Wilt Chamberlain. How special is that company?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we can really grasp the greatness of that. And the fact that, and I mentioned the other night, Anthony Edwards had himself a tremendous ball game. He didn't have the big numbers like the 60 that De'Aaron had, but you could argue, I think, that he had every bit as an impressive a game.
Yeah.
And the three that he hit in overtime with Sabonis right in his face just almost defied belief. And it's just a shame from De'Aaron's standpoint, from the Kings standpoint, that they didn't get a W to go with it.
Yeah.
But back to your question, where does it rank? I've had a hard time kind of grasping the magnitude of it. But the only thing that I can equate in my years was the 37 points that Klay Thompson dropped on the Kings in the third quarter many years ago for the Warriors. That was so extraordinary in 12 minutes to not miss a shot and to put up the numbers that he did for an all-time NBA record. That's comparable in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But to see De'Aaron score 20 in the fourth and add 6 in overtime, you're talking about just amazing prolific production. And I loved finding out later that, Malik was saying to him, might as well go for 60, and he did. And I can't wait to see what happens tonight because, the defense is going to be loaded to try to stop him.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, you're doubtful on Sabonis. You're not going to have DeMar. You're not going to have Malik Monk. So you're missing 55 plus points there.
Yeah. And I just got word. Kings just put it out. Domas is out tonight. They say he's made significant improvement and has been cleared for individual on-court workouts. But he's out tonight. He's day-to-day. Same thing with DeMar DeRozan, listed as day-to-day. And Malik Monk, the Kings just announced as well that Monk has been cleared for individual on-court workouts. He's out tonight and will be reevaluated in the coming days. That just came out, G-Man.
And that helps in terms of knowing that the Kings don't play after tonight until Friday.
Yep.
And I think that doesn't surprise any of us. They're going to say, take advantage of those extra days in there for Sabonis and for DeMar in particular. And Malik, they were saying initially, 2 weeks, and so it's great to hear that he's been cleared for some activity. So steps in the right direction. But in the meantime, you got to find a way tonight to go against the thing that surprising me about Atlanta, how good they are in terms of steals and deflections.
Yeah.
And Dyson Daniels is having
he's phenomenal.
He's had a season already in just the first 3-4 weeks. Crazy good.
Yeah, he's out there warming up right now. Just made that layup right there. He changes things for them.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's and he can knock down the three as well. And so that's a nice little pickup for them.
Yeah,
Well,
G-Man, I'm sorry. I was going to point out one of the things that impressed me the most about De'Aaron's weekend is that against Utah that he got to the line as often as he did 19 times.
19 times.
Yeah.
I know he's kicking himself because he missed he missed 5 of those, 14 for 19. But that's, and as good as the Kings have shot free throws this year, that's been a huge and pleasant surprise. So a lot of good things going on, even though I didn't check for sure today. I think there's still 11 teams in the West that are 500 or better. There are 3 in the East.
Yeah.
3 in the East, 11 in the West. So it's great to have an 8-6 record, but you're going against a team that's got a 6-8 record.
Yeah.
And they're having to play on the second day of a back-to-back. But it looks like they're getting DeAndre Hunter. They rested him yesterday in Portland.
He's back.
And Bogdanovic, who only played in 1 game thus far this season, looks like he wasn't on the injury list today. So I think we're going to get a look at Bogey. Bogey's got a streak of 91 consecutive games where he's made a 3-point shot. Yeah. So he'll be looking to extend that streak.
Yeah. Shouldn't say. I just don't want Garrison Matthews to go off on the Kings again.
Boy, he sure did in Atlanta, didn't he?
Yeah.
Man, I think I don't have my notes in front of me, but I think that I remember that his previous season or career highs in threes was against the Kings
when he was with Washington,
and then he dumped 9 on him in Georgia here a couple of weeks ago. So
yeah.
But everybody makes threes against the Kings, don't they?
That's what I'm worried about.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
But Atlanta also gives up a ton of threes themselves.
Yes,
So,
they do.
Yeah. Who you start tonight? If Mike Brown says, G-Man, I don't know what I'm doing. Who do I start tonight?
Haven't even given it a thought.
Yeah.
I just haven't given it a thought. It'll be interesting to see what they do in this aspect. You know that you got, in Capella and in Okonwu, who comes off the bench, got a couple of guys who are really active and athletic around the boards, and they provide a bit of a challenge. Not so much from a scoring standpoint, but the Kings have got to do a good job rebounding. You got to do a good job in so many different areas night after night. You sound like a broken record, but that's the reality of life in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, as down as Mr. Draper is about the demise of Royale,
He'll come back.
He's that excited about Orlando Robinson. So
Did you like what you seen from O-Rob on Saturday?
Yeah, I did. And I was, I thought it was great that he got a chance to kind of get the cobwebs and the rust off playing in the G League for the Stockton Kings the previous night. And he came in and did a couple of things very nicely, had a little impact early on. And boy, do the Kings need it. And they're going to need it again tonight. I mean, you got to have this bench step up and produce.
Yeah.
There's no question. I mean, we talked about what are the missing 55 to 56 points on average with the absence of those 3 in Sabonis, DeRozan, and Monk. So you got to have the guy I'm going to watch tonight's the guy who's shooting in the corner across from us right now.
Keegan Murray.
He only had 5 points, which matched a season low in that game. And he needs, in my mind, to be aggressively seeking buckets on the offensive end. I know he had a big defensive assignment, and he does every night, but going against Lowry Markkanen on Utah. But if the Kings are going to have success, I think you got to see, at least 14 or so from Keegan tonight.
Gotcha. We got to let you go.
Got to let you go, G-Man.
You've been too kind and generous with your
Oh, no. I appreciate you guys and all things Kings.
Yeah.
So, cheer up, Dave.
No, I'm bummed, man. I was looking forward to Royale.
Don't let it drag you down.
All right, G-Man. Thanks, man.
We appreciate it. Of course, hear him on the call tonight. Drapes, that was some interesting injury update news you had for us.
Yes. Just
Thank
came
you, G-Man.
out. I'll recap what the Kings said. Monk has been cleared for individual and on-court workouts. He'll be reevaluated in the next coming days. DeMar DeRozan cleared also for individual on-court workouts day-to-day right now. Same thing with Domantas Sabonis. And so it's as we thought, though, Whitey, with Domas, give him this day off, give him a few extra days to get back to 100% hopefully on Friday when you take on the Clippers.
Yeah. I don't know how this game is going to go tonight. I hope if it's a very competitive game, I'm hoping there aren't a lot of Kings fans who think this game tonight should be an easy game for the Kings.
Oh, not at all, right?
Be a nice win if they get it.
Right.
And, they're home. Great chance to get it, but this is not one of these, this team's terrible, the Kings can beat them easily contest tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned it earlier. Come on through, Steve.
Sorry, Steve.
You mentioned it earlier. They gas you in the paint. I think they're third in the league in points in the paint. And they have guys that could erupt. Bogdanovich, Bogey could come back and hit 6-7 threes. You mentioned Garrison Matthews.
Yeah.
Trae Young. I mean, there's this team. And they get DeAndre Hunter back. Like, this is an Atlanta team tonight, Whitey, that we haven't seen all season long. So we can't base record and everything like that. This is a new look Atlanta team tonight, a fully healthy.
Now, I hope
Atlanta
Jay's
team.
not back there rolling his eyes like, oh, there's Whitey's making excuses for the Kings. Because that's not what I'm intending to do. Jay, that's not what I'm intending to do here. Just Atlanta's I
know you're better than that.
They're a pesky team.
Yeah.
Right. They're a pesky team. And let's keep it. They're 6-8.
Yeah.
That's
they didn't
not
play
horrible.
last night.
And they took that L too. And
Yes.
so I imagine they're going to be hungry tonight, and so, and I'll throw this at you also, fellas. De'Aaron Fox is coming off 60 and 49, getting a lot of pub, NBA Today, NBA TV, being talked about on all the podcasts. If I'm Trae Young, I'm saying, De'Aaron Fox, watch this. So I think we might get the best shot from Trae Young tonight too. Like I'm respecting this Atlanta team.
What about
They
this
can-
too,
they can
Drake?
come in and get the win.
What about
Yeah,
this
yeah.
thrown in there? You guys and the G-Man just talked about Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels has got to be in the top 3 for Defensive Player of the Year right now. You
Yeah.
can't tell me he's not looking in the mirror, looking at himself saying, this is where I'm here for, to come and stop guys like De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah. I'll be the Fox stopper.
Yeah, you're right about that. And how about this, fellas? He had 6+ steals in 4 straight games. Think about that. Like, that's insane. That's unheard of.
That is.
How about this? I got another stat for you. De'Aaron Fox is second in the NBA in deflections with 53. Dyson Daniels is first. Guess how many?
70.
88.
Oh.
So he's like by far and ahead, 35 more deflections than the next closest guy. So you're right, Jay. He's going to be looking forward to that matchup tonight.
I mentioned the defector earlier. Patrick Redford wrote an interesting piece on De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
A lot of numbers here, but I think this goes a long ways to explaining exactly what De'Aaron Fox is doing. De'Aaron Fox is taking a career low at the rim, 12.8% of his shots. The percent of the shots, not the percent he makes.
Yeah.
He's taking fewer shots at the rim so far this year.
Okay.
But he's taking the most shots he has in his career to this point of his shots between 3 and 10 feet. He's shooting almost 30% of his shots are between 3 and 10 feet, and he's hitting about 60% of those. So we talked about it earlier. So he's not getting all the way to the rim, but he's not trying to.
Right. He's
but
pulling up
in
short,
that sweet spot, 3 to 10,
Okay.
and he's destroying people from there.
I got to find out if that's a conscious thing that they've worked on and talked about, because those are stark numbers right there, man. And it's helped his game out. Why go in there with all the trees? Like, look at it tonight too, Whitey, with Capella and Okongwu out there, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter. You got some length on the inside for Atlanta. Maybe that sweet spot is where De'Aaron does his damage tonight again.
To my eye, that's where his sweet spot was 2 years ago. He would get in the fourth quarter when everyone knew De'Aaron Fox was going to shoot the ball here, and you knew he was going to get right to the bottom of the circle, and he did anyway. And last year, for whatever reason, he was not able to do that. This year, he's back to that, and he's maybe even doing it better so far. It's very early, but maybe even better than he did 2 years ago.
Yeah. And that's a big part of his game, man. And I think, as fans, last year people got on him for taking as so many threes, even to start this season as well. And so it might be a conscious effort to get back to that. I'm looking at some numbers for De'Aaron Fox, and just, the numbers that in the company that he's in, You know, it's 4 consecutive 20-point halves. Think about that, Whitey. 4 straight halves of 20 or more points. This guy had 31 against Atlanta November 1st. So he's had big games against this team. And so I just think I thought he had a slow start to the season. But these last 2, 3, 4 games, whatever it's been, he's back up in there. Like he's an all-star right now.
Yeah. Speaking of all-stars.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-oh. This dude, he ran up here tonight.
Got a few moments, high flyer?
I would have had at least a boot and a quarter of my sock and some booty that night.
Yes, a quarter.
What the hell is that from, man? Oh, my God.
The high flyer Henry Turner is here.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah.
Tell me.
We're just talking about De'Aaron Fox. You've been playing pretty good basketball.
Pretty good basketball.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, you know, and I keep it 100. He almost made me curse on air.
Really?
Man, when he knocked down that last three-pointer to get 60, I'm like, this is on fire. It's on fire.
Yes.
I mean, I really wish he could have got that win. I really wish he could have got that win. That would have been the icing on top, you know, understanding that it's the Sacramento King era accomplishment that he got that night. And
but it's a franchise.
Too.
The whole
more than
franchise.
the whole
Back to
franchise,
Rochester.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's now number 1 on that list.
Yeah.
And, bro, and he deserved it, man. I mean, he gave it everything.
Dragged him right to the finish line and couldn't quite get him.
You know, if he just had one more guy that I hate to say scared, but it was almost that. And, you know, and maybe it's one of those things, KD, to where De'Aaron had it going so well that you just wanted to keep feeding him the ball.
Right. That's what happened.
But at some particular point, he had Rudy Gobert standing next to him at the three-point line. There's nobody at the rim. If you're a basketball player, you say, "Oh, now it's my time to go." And you know, for the last minute, bro, De'Aaron was tired. He was gassed. Somebody else had to pick it up. Somebody else had to drive to the basket. Somebody else had to get something else going because he got 3.5, 4 dudes was on him.
Yeah. Let me give you my wish list for tonight, High Flyer KD, dear listener. Whitey's wish list. What do you think? One, I think the Kings have to make threes tonight because the Hawks give up more 3-point field goal attempts than anybody, and teams are shooting 39% against them. They're not a good defensive team, and the Kings haven't been shooting the 3-ball well. So shoot and make a lot of threes tonight. Get back on defense, defend without fouling in transition.
Okay.
High Flyer.
I'm with that.
Yeah, the Hawks push the ball. They shoot a lot of free throws. Trae Young shoots 7 free throws a game. So don't send him to the foul line tonight. Don't need a parade to the foul line. And then third and finally, don't let their bench beat you. On November 1st, Garrison Matthews scored 23. Keaton Wallace had 14. David Roddy had 8. Okongwu had 11.
Exactly.
Yes. Don't let that bench beat you tonight, High Flyer.
Don't let it be you. That's the mantra back when I played. Do not let a dude that don't ever get no minutes come off the bench and give you 20. Ain't no way. Can I put a little piece of wishing on
please.
Yes. I want Keegan Murray to take at least 15 attempts.
Yes.
Because he is that guy that's capable. He's got to take him, KD. He's got to take it. I don't care if they're bad ones, bro. You got to take the shot. Do not pass it up.
You know who sat here right in that very chair 10 minutes ago and said almost the same thing? Gary Gerald. He said, he didn't say that. He said, I'm keeping an eye on Keegan Murray tonight.
He's got to take the shot. I'm sorry. Even if it's a bad one, he's got to take them.
He took 15 against Minnesota.
How many take
against Utah?
Yes.
5?
Thank you.
Something like that?
Thank you.
Whitey got the box score right there.
No Debo.
2 for 6.
2 for 6.
2 for 6. That sounds like a Harrison Barnes stat to me. And you know how I felt about that.
Oh, there's Dominique.
I just got to talking to Nick.
He always coming in late. I was going to get Dominique on the show.
No, we were downstairs.
You should have let him come out so we could talk to us.
Well, I didn't know y'all needed.
We always got tomorrow. We always got tomorrow.
Yeah.
I know. Dang, we ain't going to see Atlanta till next time.
That's who I was downstairs talking to.
Oh man, Dominique still could get you 20 out there.
You know what? Dominique got stories too, bro. Oh, he got stories. We was just telling some stories about because like he was in Bologna and I was in Milan.
Yeah. I forgot he was in Italy.
Yeah. And then we both was in Athens. So we got a lot of stories. My man,
Dominique, man.
Is it possible, and I'm not making excuses for Keegan, but trying to figure out why he struggles sometimes. It seems like when De'Aaron takes over the offense, Keegan has a hard time figuring out how to fit into that. I'm not saying that's a good reason, but doesn't it seem like especially the last game, he just didn't know what to do almost offensively?
I think the other 4 last games just didn't know what to do because De'Aaron had it rolling so good. But at this particular point, it's Keegan's 3rd year. You need to know what your value is to this crew. Now, understandable, they asked Keegan to do a lot. I will give him that. They asked him to defend the best player every night. Keegan Murray don't get a break. He got to play the number 1 guy on offense every night. He's got to rebound every night and then do a little something on offense, play a little defense. So, I understand it's a lot, but offensively, Keegan, you have to give us more than what you're giving us because you're capable, dude. You're capable. I know we ask a lot, but we're asking a lot from Domas. We're asking a lot from Fox.
Yeah.
So it can be done. You just got to get in your mind to be more aggressive.
Let me say this, though, and I'm going to take a page out of Whitey's book. I think Keegan might be banged up a little bit.
You know what?
He doesn't seem to be moving.
I just heard that, too, when I was sitting downstairs. So
did you? Yeah.
It may be some truth to that. One of his ankles or heels or something is bandaged up. It's taped up.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just heard that. So, you know what? You might be on to something with that.
Yeah.
Who you starting tonight?
I'm re-rolling it.
Are you?
I'm re-rolling it. You know what? If it isn't broke, don't fix it.
So Keegan and Trey Lyles at the 4 or 5 against Capella? Ooh, yeah.
You know what? Hey, let's give credit to what credit is due. The big fella, Orlando.
O-Rob, huh?
Oh, he's a big O-Rob guy.
Hey, the big fella, Orlando, showed me a little something.
Yes.
Now it was just a glimpse, but it was enough to make me say, okay, I see why you're still around.
Yep.
Soft hands, catch it, we'll let it go, and banged a little bit. Was able to, bang his guy down, spin, go to the baseline, make a little flip hook.
Have an open 3 and let it fly and knock it down.
Hey, with confidence.
Yeah.
With confidence, and he's long. So I seen him and I was like, okay, now I see why you've been hanging around.
Yep.
Because, it might be something there. Give it a chance. It might be something there. Or at the very least, in case of emergency, break glass, you can help us for a couple of minutes.
What do you think we'll see from De'Aaron Fox tonight? If you want to put a number on it or not, fine. What do you think we'll see? The Hawks going to be focused on him, right?
I'm pretty sure. It's funny that I see all these guys downstairs. I talked to De'Aaron tonight also.
Okay.
And I was like, D, how you feeling? You still on fire? And I touched him. I said, ooh, you still sizzling, dog.
Sizzling, huh?
I said, you still sizzling, dog. And he laughed and walked out. But, if I'm De'Aaron and because like last game he came out and when he knocked down that first shot, I was like, he still had a little giddy up.
Still got a little, yeah.
He still had a little giddy up in the step. So I'm gonna watch him tonight and see what happens on those first couple of shots, and and see how much pep he has.
All right, you got Kyle Draper tonight, pre and post.
Pre and post today.
Yes. Stick around for the high flyer, and you know who you're on with tonight? Scott Marsh, I would assume, maybe.
I don't know, man. The dudes I work with jet set so much, man. I'm wondering what's going on. I'm gonna have to renegotiate my contract. These dudes, one night they're here, they're in Hawaii, they're in Alaska, they're in Las Vegas. I'm like, man, how come I don't get none of this?
You're the rock of this team, aren't you? Here every night.
Or you know what? Or the low man on the totem pole. One of the two.
One of the two, right?
The high flyers back
high
game
flyer.
night when we come back. Thanks for being with us today. Drive guys, stick around. Game night next. Hawks and Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Join Sacramento State football this Saturday at 2 for the Causeway Classic versus UC Davis. Get your tickets at HornetSports.com.